good morning. We've made it to Friday. It's Friday here at Sewing Quarter. Well, in fact, Friday everywhere in the world. And we've got creature comforts on today's show. So we've got elephants. And look what we're launching this morning. We've got a brand new Joe Carter toy today. We're launching our little Christmas robin. So perfect to give as a gift. If you've got a name for our robin this morning, we're launching this at 9 o'clock with Joe. So we need to get a little name for our Rockin' Robin. And I feel like we should have some music to go with that as well. There's a Rockin' Robin song, isn't there? Which they're now singing in my ear. Tweet, tweet, tweet. So we've got our little robin. And we're doing that at 9 o'clock. So let's have a look at what's coming up this morning on today's show. At 8 o'clock, we have got some Tim Holtz fabrics for you today. We find it quite difficult to get these in, and we've managed this morning for the first time ever to get them by the ½ metre, so launching those. At 9 o'clock, our Rockin' Robin. Tweet, tweet, tweet. That's going to get boring, isn't it? I'll stop doing that. 10 o'clock, we have got Tilda time. So we've got that cottage collection from Tilda. And 11 o'clock, Joe is back. We've got our elephant back in for the second time. And we've got this in a different colourway today as well. So our really lovely elephant. If you missed out last time, we've got that back in stock. So some brand new things, some launches with our Christmas robin and also with the Tim Holtz by the ½ metre. And also some good old favourites that we know you love that we've got back in stock for Friday today. So remember as well, get in touch. Let me know what you're up to this weekend. Have you got some makes planned? Have you made an elephant? Maybe send us a photo of your elephant. So you can do that on the website if you go to sewingquarter.com. And just underneath the live feed of today's show, if you click on that watch icon there, there it is, just scrolling down. And on the right-hand side, there's a little bubble there, message the studio. And you can just drop us a message. Maybe if you've got any questions for Joe Carter, that's a place to ask them. And then underneath that is your shopping list of everything you can buy. So those are all of yesterday's products, but shortly that will be updated with robins and Tilda and Tim Holtz and elephants. And also remember, you can send in pictures via email. So if you have got some little elephant pictures to send in this morning, send those in to studio@sewingquarter.com. Just attach those and we can show them. So I'm going to take my Rockin' Robin. We're going to head over to the other side. Where shall I put our little robin? Shall I put him on the shelf behind us so we can see him? And we're going to show you these Tim Holtz. They're saying upstairs we can get him flying around. I'm not sure about that. I'll place him on our shelf and we'll show you that at 9 o'clock. So Tim Holtz, really lovely designer. What's lovely about this is we've got a lot of our fabrics. We have lots of florals. We have lots of really feminine fabrics. And this is much more, it does have a more masculine feel to it. And Tim Holtz is influenced and has a lot of work that he does with stamps and embossing and ink and things like that. And you really see that influence from his paper crafting work and the sorts of prints he does that comes through in his fabric designs as well. So we've got pre-cuts this morning and we've also got the ½ metre. So I'm going to start with the pre-cut collections. Should we go with the fat quarters first of all? Oh, we're going for the big one first of all. This is a 25-piece fat quarter bundle from Tim Holtz. So this is great if you are making, if you want to make some Christmas gifts, whether it's little tablet cases or laptop cases. Oh, I can't get that undone. Let's just squidge that open in there. And your fat quarters obviously giving you the biggest part of the ¼ metre. Here we go, I've got it. So this is the Electric Elements fat quarter bundle. And let's look at some of these. We will get on to the ½ metres, but we're just going to show you the sort of things that Tim Holtz does. You can really start to see though that sort of stamp influence on here. You'll see that overhead. But you've got the world, really lovely. Can we see that on there? It's very different to anything else that we do. I'm quite ashamed to say, I set myself a challenge while I was off for the last few weeks of trying, because I was quite ashamed that I couldn't label a map of the world, and I'm attempting to know where, well, at least where the majority of countries are. It was quite embarrassing to not know where some of those big main ones. If someone gave me an atlas, I'd quite like to be able to, or a globe, I'd quite like to be able to point to most of the countries. So I've set myself a challenge, try and learn where they are. Then we've got rulers. You've got lots of different sort of stamp-like things. But some more earthy colours as well. Oh, that newspaper print. Look at this one. Let's open that one out. So this is the size of the fat quarter, if you're not sure quite how that works. But a really versatile size that you can use for lots of different things. You can obviously incorporate that for patchwork, but all manner of projects. That newspaper one's like a big sheet of, a good old broadsheet. Let's carry on looking at some of those other designs. But they are really intriguing prints, actually, the sort of thing where the more you look, the more you see. Let me just move that down so you can see those new ones. This is the biggest fat quarter bundle we have from Tim Holtz. But all of those sort of graphics and stamps, and there seems to be a running theme of time and of sort of time and space, really, where you've got your clocks, you've got your sort of graphics of the maps of the world. And although we say, you know, that this could be fairly masculine, producer Hannah's saying, I really like these. You know, they're unisex. They could be used for anything at all. We've got music notes as well. That's a nice one. Butterflies. Can we see all of these? If I move that down. Let's have a look. But you've got lots of lovely different texts and things like that. And also moving through in terms of colours, you've got more earthy ones. So you've got natural sort of colours with greens and with neutrals and taupes and creams. But then you have got splashes of more vibrant ones too, with your greys and reds. Very, very unusual. Let me just move it down. Shall I move that down so you can see? It's a lot of fabric in here. 25 fat quarters. What's this? Look, you've got your text as well. But if you were mixing and matching these with solids and interspersing them, you could really, these fabrics are perfect for fussy cutting if you want to take, you know, different sections and really emphasise them. I'm going to just grab, for example, this one. You really can feel that influence of sort of paper and of crafting and inks. I really like that one. So it's less than £4 per fat quarter, £99.95 for all 25 of those. Can we see that one? That map. I've still got some learning to do if I need to label all of this. But very intricate prints. And let's have a look at some of, just open a couple of others. The music notes one as well. Gosh, this is like a complicated song. But perfect to mix and match as well, all of those colours working really well together. Maybe for someone musical. But also if you do struggle to find prints that you might be able to use for those more masculine projects, whether it's laptop cases, whether it's tablet cases, notebook covers, book covers, a man bag, lots of different things that you could make if you wanted to with these prints. You've got clocks and measuring tapes, and I'll just open one more. I was saying to my friend the other day, I think it's really sad we quite rarely get our passports stamped anymore, because my passport's coming up for renewal, and I was flicking through the sort of to see where I've been, and I realised that most places haven't given me a stamp. They just don't bother with that anymore, and it's really, I think it's lovely to look back and see where you've been, and that all seems to have been phased out for those machines you just walk through, don't you, and you bib through with your passport. So that's the 25-piece fat quarter bundle from Tim Holtz. Lots of different bold prints, but also some more neutral colours that you can mix and match in with your solids. And we've got a message this morning from Terry. Morning, Terry. I have a map of the world on my hall so I can find news items, etc. Long time since I was at school. That's from Terry in Wales. That's a good idea. It's just having that map, that reference point. I actually bought a roll-up poster one that I can put out on the kitchen table so I can keep checking where places are and trying to fit it together in my head like a jigsaw. So I'll move this fat quarter. Well, we're going to pass this off to the side to our floor manager. Got all of those fat quarters there, and we'll move on to that. So much fabric here. You can make a massive quilt with all of these, and if you love these Tim Holtz prints, let's move all of those. That big old pile of fabric. So great to add to your stash if you like that one. Then we've also got some slightly smaller fat quarter bundles as well. So we've got a jelly roll as well, so maybe we'll start with that one. So you've got a slightly different shape here. I love how these arrive. Look at this. Like a big pinwheel of fabrics. So this is, again, lots of those prints we've just seen from the foundation collection from Tim Holtz. And design rolls, great for quilting, or jelly rolls as you might know them. So I'll show you the sort of size of those. Oh, we've had a message from Sue asking if we've got this by the half metre as well. We're launching that today. So you're on it, Sue. Exactly that. We've got some brand new Premier Tim Holtz by the half metre that we've just managed to get in. We've never had before, so I'll get to that in just a moment. I'll just show you some of these jelly roll strips. Oh, I like that one. But these are really useful if you don't want to cut lots of straight lines. You know, if you are doing a quilt that's going to utilise maybe a log cabin or lots of different, where you're going to have lots of straight line cutting to do, this is doing those strips for you. So just showing you some of those different. There's our map. We've only got a couple of countries on this one, Terry. You might need a few more of those to piece together for your map on the wall in your hall. You've got like beer tops actually on this one. Cushions, make a nice little cushion. Let's open some of these. Oh, this is lovely. Look at that. Really beautiful print. That's almost, it looks like it's watercolour, like that mottled effect. I'm just going to show you some of those different, but just really lots of lovely contrasting, more masculine, some geometrics, but also, and strong, bold, straight lines, but also you have got those more sort of arty ones where it looks more painted. Let's try and show you some of those together. Can we just look at sort of this section here? Trying to pick out different ones. There we go. Oh, got newspaper strip. Just half a story on this little jelly roll strip there. You can just see those different prints. Stamps and clocks and things. We don't have really any other designers that we bring you that has this sort of look and feel to it. As I said earlier, we do have lots of lovely florals and ditzy prints and things like that, and very feminine fabrics, but we don't have anything that's this with that paper and stamp influence, where it's got more text, it's got more lots of detail in there, where you always feel like you could read the fabric. There's where you've got lines and you know you've got text and things like that. There's your music notes. But you could just intersperse little tiny bits of this with those feminine fabrics as well if you wanted to. And you've got things like this, butterflies. So all sorts of different. And the size of those jelly roll strips, I'm just going to, it's a 2.5 inch strip and it's 44 inches in length. So I'll just show you one more so you can see sort of the, no, that can't be right. 2.5 inches, that's not by 44. Is it 44 inches long, please, Hannah? Let me check that. That doesn't look that long to me. It's 2.5 inches in width. We'll check that length for you. That's like a long old ruler, isn't it? So this one here, this is how it arrives. That's your jelly roll or design roll. All of those beautiful fabrics. You don't want to open this. You do want to open it to see what's in there, but you're never going to get it looking like that again, I can assure you. KCRW 63 49.95. Made a nice old mess of the table here this morning. Look at all this fabric, all these jelly rolls. Let's move those over. Just pop those on the side. Okay, so we promised you half meters. We've got these as a launch this morning, brand new. Never had them in before, so these are Premier half meter Tim Holtz fabrics, and we've been trying for absolutely ages to get them in, and we've got them today. So I will start with, oh, I like this one. We've got, how many have we got in total? Is it 6? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 6 different fabrics. So these are the ones that we've managed to get in. This one is my favourite, so I'm going to start with it. Watches, clocks, jewellery, it's like all the little cogs and wheels and what's going on behind the scenes in a watch or a clock. Let me just turn that round. I think that's upside down. There you go. So this is the first time we've had this by the half metre, the neutral gears fabric. And if we can look a little bit more closely, you can see all of that detail. You've got almost sort of graph lines and all of the workings out and things like that. the cogs and everything that's just working on inside. You've got numbers, you've got text. This almost looks like a newspaper cutting. And in terms of the colour theme for this, you've got blues and reds are the prominent sort of bright colours, but in the background there you have got an olive green. If you look really closely, you can just see in this dot and dash in the background. But by the half metre as well, you've got that flexibility and the opportunity to incorporate it into different projects. So perhaps you only want to have a half metre, have a look at it and maybe use a little bit of it and mix and match it with some solids. Or if you have got a bigger project in mind, you could do, you could do cushions, or you could, if you wanted to maybe even incorporate it into the theme of a room, you could go for cushions and curtains and cover the bin and some lampshades and things like that. Nice for a workroom as well, perhaps if you've got someone who's into maybe woodwork or something crafty. That's the first one of our brand new collection. I'll fold it up so we can. Next up, we've got, this is our cigar fabric. So lovely close detail on this. Very rich colours. You've got forest greens, you've got dark sort of wine-like colours, port, sort of a port and a nice maroon. You've also got some navies and things, and mix and match with a neutral copper sort of colours and golden browns. But all those different cigar labels. You could make a toiletry bag. Maybe you could odor coat it, do something like that. I think that would make a lovely notebook cover. You could recover a stool, perhaps, or a chair. I just think quite often, maybe men are a little bit more difficult to make for, and you know the projects that you want to do, but you don't necessarily have the fabrics, or you're limited to things that are slightly more plain, so you just lean towards plainer fabrics, or something that might be a bit more neutral. But it's nice to have the option to have something with a bit more design and with a bit more zhuzh, really. And from a distance, it just looks like a stripe. And what's lovely about that is, as you do push in closer and you do look at it, you can see that there is more detail there, and there is a lot going on. So all of these, $7.45 per half metre. Lots of you putting these in your baskets this morning already. Friday morning. I always think Friday's the day when you think you've got through the week, you're ready for a little treat to yourself or to someone else. This one is all about tailoring, so it's perfect for us. Very relevant. Lovely, deep, deep navies, but it's almost an inky wash where you've got those lighter, more sort of powdery blues coming through. And then tailor detail, so you've got dress and shirts and talking about different fittings. We could fit short and stout, tall and slim, and extra large men in any style. You could do a butcher's apron. But I really like that sort of different depth you get in the fabric, where you've got the light and shade of the different blues. So that's the blue tailored fabric, again from Tim Holtz, and again $7.45 per half metre. As I said, brand new this morning. Never had these ones on before. Then we've got, this is unusual. This one is the neutral plaid. And you've got, it's a sort of a coffee colour in the background, and then you've got darker, more chocolatey colours in that crosshatch detail. And even here, I don't know if you can look, when we go, if you can look really, really closely, is it possible to just go in a little bit more? If you can see, that there has got sort of the remnants of an inky stamp. You know, sometimes when you stamp it doesn't quite transfer everything that you put in the ink pad. It's got a new, or when the newspaper transfers onto something, onto your hands, usually. But it's just got little bits there. So it's still got that Tim Holtz vibe. YCRW79. I like the selvages on this collection as well. I'll just show you. I think there's very sophisticated tailoring. That's what that reminds me of. If you're doing a selvage quilt, then this is a nice one to add. Dapper coats. That's it. Then we're on to numbers and letters. This is Producer Hannah's favourite. I'll show you as well, if you're buying a metre, that's what it would look like from a distance. So a two-way direction with that print. It has got a bit of an old-fashioned vibe to it, which I like. There's charcoal detail in the letters and the numbers, and then the background there is an off-white. If you're going for a monochrome design, even a monochrome quilt, then this is definitely one that you could start to introduce. Again, perfect for maybe book-related things, whether it's a notebook cover or a general book cover. So that's the neutral typography fabric. And we've got one more in this collection by the half metre. Which one's most popular at the moment? This one, typography. That was quick. That didn't take you long, did it? We've got one more. Just because it's the first time we've had these on this morning. This one here. This isn't the right one. We'll take this one off the desk. We've got mixed up. We've got one more. They're just going to bring it into the studio. So we'll come back to that one in a second. But let's look at those 5 that we've just seen. So we've got the clocks and the all the different typography here with watches, clocks and jewellery. Then you've got cigars. There, that's your cigar. With any brand new fabric, we do encourage you to check out your baskets because quite quickly these start to really fly out. Then that's your tailoring. Then you've got your print with your boxy detail. The graphics in at the moment are for the tailoring one, which is this blue. And then finally, you've got the typography. And one more, we've just had it sneaked onto the table by the half metre. This one, much more, I can see this being used, make a really cool shirt, if you wanted to use this more for dressmaking. Again, that monochrome. So you could incorporate this into a monochrome quilt. You could mix and match it with blacks and whites, or you could splash it with some colour if you wanted to. I don't know if the quilt behind us has got quite a monochrome influence, and then with that red on with the robins. Okay, that's the diamond. This might hurt your eyes a little bit. We'll show you it quickly. Oh, it's not too bad. So the black diamond fabric. That's all quite hypnotising, isn't it? I think it's where all those little squares and diamonds. So that's black and white there. And I'm just going to show you that if we mix and match it. Really lovely with this one. Your watches and clocks. You can see that there. They do look really nice together. And I think because this one's not quite as busy, the diamonds is more of what is a uniform print where you've just got that repetition of all of the diamonds. But it's really different when you put it with something with that detail of the text and of the cogs of the watches. Also typography with this one, where you've got that monochrome. If you did want to mix and match them. Different look every time. And sometimes as well, you might be flicking through a book and if you've got that fabric in your stash, you go, oh, that's perfect for that. I'm just going to show you the cigar with, what was the name of this one? Was it the play? That's it. Let's pop those there. Again, those two colours coming through with your neutrals. So the graphic on your screen just coming up is the cigar. That's your main one there. MGRW67, so that's this one, the more colourful one. Lots of people checking out the cigar one. Is that now taking over? We'll check it out. For all of these, I'm just going to pop some in so you can see. With that more masculine influence. And let's have a look at these now. We've got some solids bundles this morning. So maybe you like one of these fabrics and you think it's a bit busy for me to mix and match these all together, and you'd rather just have one star of the show, if you like, with the designer print. Or maybe you've never bought any Tim Holtz before and you want to see what it's like. You want to feel it is a really lovely quality fabric. But you want to feel it. You want to see how it works, see how it responds, see how it behaves, really. And then if you want to mix and match it with some solids, we've got some different colourways to show you this morning. So, which one should we go for? First of all, let's go for the linen look one. So these are the linen look fabrics that have a little bit more texture to them with that cross hatching. You've got 1.5 meters in this bundle, so 3 half-metre cuts. Blue, green and red in this bundle, so your green and red, again, Christmas if you want to use them for that. But it's a nice deep, it feels like a grown-up red. It's more of a maroon or a burgundy. And your green. The Harley Street fabric. And your blue. Can I just show that with the watches? This here, if I pop that there, you can see with the red, picking out the red. There is a green, I don't know if you can see it on your screen, but it is, I assure you it is there in the background grid formation. So with the neutral gears fabric and then the blue picked out in the cogs and wheels of that, if you can see. There it is. So your red here, your green, it is there. I don't know if it really is there, I promise you. And your blues here with that cog. So if, say you were doing a laptop bag, you could maybe use one of those for the lining. You could have the pocket in a different colour, so it just peeps through if you wanted, or for binding if you wanted to make a cushion, or use these for quilting. Then we've also got another solids bundle. So this one here is a 5-piece solids bundle. So you've got, oh, did you want to do a different one? Okay, so we've got another 1.5 meter one. We'll do that one first instead. We've got jelly rolls. If you know jelly rolls or design rolls, they molt. So I've got bits of fluff on my desk. Let's clear those. So this is another 1.5 meter bundle, 3 half-metre cuts. And this one here, you've got 2 dark greens and then a cream as well. So first of all, you've got a soft cream, and the cross-hatching in this is a grey. Can you just see that sheen there? This is from the linen look range from Macau, but it does give it more of an expensive feel if you want to mix and match it in your patchwork. Rather than having an actual real linen that's obviously behaves differently, if you want to mix and match it for quilting, then these are 100% cotton. Then you've got your forest green. What's nice about the linen look fabrics is they do have that more mottled background, which is mirrored in the Tim Holtz fabrics as well. And then you've got an even darker green. So those 3 together. We're going to London today. Bond Street, Harley Street. There we go with our 3 different linen look fabrics from Macau. GUGC88. And let's just show that with the cigars. Yes, I think that one. We just arrange those. Picking out the green. There we go. Let's have a look. We've got green in some of those labels. Havana. I think that's the only one I recognise. I'm not familiar really with cigars. I don't really know much about them. You can just see, remove that. This green here. And then your lighter green, if we move this one up, just picking out some of this detail in the labels. So the cigar band is this one here, that's going across the bottom of your screens. Now we could also put this bundle with the tailoring fabric, which is, where is it? I don't know if I've, oh no, you can. I was going to say, with that cream. Obviously the cream very naturally goes with that. But interestingly, the greens do work. And you can see what I mean with the inky effect in that blue background on the tailoring fabric is mirrored in the linen look solid. So rather than them being completely plain uniform solids, there's a bit more texture to those. Or if we swap that for typography. That works nicely, doesn't it, with the cream, but also the green just bringing it to life a bit more. And even with the diamonds, let's look at that. That cream again just is the one that naturally just pops, makes it pop. But if you do want to bring it in with some more masculine solids as well. Get that blue off so you can see. I think this looks really expensive, this linen look fabric, because of the texture. I do love khaki greens. Then we've also got 2 5-piece solid bundles, so 2.5 metre bundles. Let's look at those. There we go. Look at the robin. We're doing this one at 9. Jo was busy stitching yesterday afternoon to make sure this was finished. Well, even this morning, she was in at, well, I think 6:45, 6:45 this morning, finishing off our little robin for the demonstration at 9. So a brand new Christmas toy that we've got. Another one of Jo's designs. Because you love them. Look at him. Oh, love a robin. So this is a 5-piece solid bundle. So rather than the linen look, these are completely uniform colours. So you get that saturation all the way across, rather than it having the different light and shade. So you've got a black. These are stash builders. Park Lane. We're going to all the posh places today, Hannah. You've got black. You have got cornflower blue. You've got pistachio. Then you've got Christmas red. And you've got, finally, this one is ivory. It's very classic colours, things that you could mix and match and use with all sorts of different fabrics. Black, blue, green, red, cream, all the way through. 1/2 metre of each of those, so 2.5 metres of fabric in total. That one there. And then the other solids bundle, there it is. This one here, again, you've got your ivory, so I'll start with that one. This is more rich, darker tones, so again, we're looking with that masculine feel to it. So you've got that deep port. I'll put them side by side so you can see in comparison. I'm going to pop that under there. Again, your black. Then you've got your navy. This is a really expensive looking bundle. And then you've got a steely blue. Let's just line all of those up so you can see. So side by side, you've got, this one is Mayfair. So we'll see that one first of all. So you've got your black, your light blue, your maroon, your ivory, or wine, this one's actually called, and then your dark blue as well. But side by side, you've got, what was the name of it? We had Mayfair and we had Park Lane. Again with your cream But 2.5 metres in both of those. And with these solids bundles, what happens with these is we put them together, our team here at Sewing Quarter. We've got loads and loads of different solids, and we look at colours that we think work really well together. So trying to take out the, you know, if you don't think you've necessarily got a great eye for colour or putting things together, we try to put them together in families or collections, which we think are useful colours. And also we try and pick them out with the designer fabrics we've got in that hour so you can see. But let's look at this one. This one is the most popular from Tim Holtz. This is the, it's relevant to Sewing Quarter. That's most probably why it's most popular. The tailoring fabric with that Mayfair bundle, you can see the blue is an obvious choice that works really well. But actually, some of these other colours, just bringing out different sections, making other parts ping or pop. All of these are 100% cotton. And let's just try it as well with, what one do I think? I think this one actually. Gears. I like this. This is my favourite of this new collection from Tim Holtz. Because you've got the blue, which picks itself out with those two blues, but I like the red as well that's mirrored in the text or the calligraphy. Move that down. Just working really well together. MNGC 33. That's for the Mayfair bundle, which are these 5 different solids here. And then on the bottom of your screens is the neutral gears. And then we're going to show 2 more, so 2 more of those Tim Holtz fabrics that are the most popular. I'll show you those once more in case you missed them. So the most popular is that tailoring fabric, so the blue one. I'll open that right out for you. Let's really look at this one. There we go. It'd be lovely to make a sewing bag with this because it has got that tailoring detail on there. I really love this, that we can fit short and stout and tall and slim and extra large men. It's got all these different quotes and things. This is the tailoring. So lots of lovely detail, and I love that different, these are almost, it really does remind me of ink, where it's gone darker in some places and lighter in others. We've got a message from Nicola. Morning, Nicola. Good morning. What a fabulous show. Bought 1 metre of the Tim Holtz blue tailor fabric. What a find. So this is the one you like. I'm glad you agree, Nicola. What are you going to make with it? Let me know. What do you plan to make with that? Is it a present or is it for yourself? Nearly a quarter of the stock of this one has now gone, so please do check out your baskets. UARW08. And as it's the first time we've had this on, we had lots of stock of this morning, so for a quarter of that to have gone means it's a very popular print. You might have seen, if you watch regularly, you might have seen the Tim Holtz pre-cuts before, but we've never had them by the ½ metre off the bolt. So now we're in a position to offer them to you. If you want, say, 2 metres of fabric, you can order 4 units. If you want a metre, you can order 2 units. And the other one that was really popular was the typography. Oh, this is level pegging with the gears fabric. I keep putting this one upside down. You don't want to read the letters upside down. There we go. But you can see on the selvage here that this is much more of a neutral print. So you've got creams, you've got lighter, more taupe-like colours, and then moving more in towards greys. I can move this down so we can see. Just here. A very unusual print. But also very useful. And I like that you could just take small little sections if you wanted to. You could strip. This would be nice if you wanted to do straight lines and take different strip sections and build them up. Or even hexes. You could take letters and you could spell things out. I think the thing about this fabric is it could be used very cleverly if you wanted it to spell out certain words. Or we had someone sent in a Scrabble quilt this week, a picture, which was really cool if you wanted to take lettering from this. Or maybe if you had the Scrabble quilt with all of the names in the middle, you could use this as a border or binding. Or a fancy lining, something a bit different to a plain. So typography, second most popular. Level pegging with our gears, which I'll show you that once more. This one's my favourite. Here we go. What does this say? I'm reading upside down. Watches, clocks, jewellery and co. English and, what does that say? Waltham, Lever and Swiss watches. That was like the worst read. That sounded like I've never read before. It's because I'm trying to read it skew-whiff. I love all these sort of signature details, and you've got dresses and old-fashioned reports. And that one is the neutral gears, RERW 50. So the half metre is brand new. We have got pre-cuts that we've had on before, but we are going to show you some of those in case you're loving the Tim Holtz theme and you're loving the prints, but you want to have some different ones so you can mix and match them maybe for quilting. So let's have a look at the airmail influenced bundle. This one's called Correspondence, aptly named. So again, you're getting that stamp paper feel. Tim Holtz influence very much influenced by ink and stamps and paperwork, and just lots of craft work as well, and you can see that coming through in the fabrics. This is how it arrives. Lovely, all beautifully wrapped up. Judith's messaging, she's going to make something for her husband for Christmas with this collection, because she's been struggling to find a fabric that is perhaps masculine enough, or one that he's going to like. Let me show you some of these a bit more clearly rather than in that bundle. So the Correspondence. Do you know what? These tell a story. I think when you have a floral and things like that, they're beautiful and they're lovely for dressmaking and for nice feminine projects. But I really feel that you could tell a really lovely story with this. So that's the size of the fat quarter if you just want to see. But you've got your Union Jack. You've got that old-fashioned, almost coffee-stained background, and all of your old money measurements, post office stamps, and let me just fold this up so we can show you. I'm going to fan these out so you can see some of the different ones. Then you've got the airmail, those old-fashioned stamps. Then you've got some more neutral, so this one here is a star. Then you've got, this is like graph paper. Some of them are more plain, but then mixed and matched with ones with lots more detail in them. Let me move that round. Look at this one. Again, telling a story. With that really unusual floral just climbing over the top. And I'll just show you how they work together with some of those plainer prints in the bundle as well. But very well thought out. So these more neutral prints bringing out the best in the busy designs. And if I open a few more of these, they are really, this has got, all of them have got those, you see the reds, blues and neutrals coming through. A little plane flying across there. That one there is all your letters and envelopes. I wish people sent more letters. It's all email and Facebook messages now, isn't it? I love a good old-fashioned letter. All your old ticket stubs. Look at that. Typewriter. You see? The image is so clear and crisp. I don't know if you can look a little bit more closely at that. But then as well, what's picked out there, if you look at just the tiny little detail, that's then picked out later in a more plain, but you see these familiar shapes coming through. I'll pop those there so you can see. Can we look at that? There we go. See what I mean about the shapes just being picked out, and all the way through. Really lovely. So that one is the Correspondence. There's 17 fat quarters in there. If you're not sure on the size of a fat quarter, I'll show you once more. So this is the 1/4 of a metre, but cut the widest way. So rather than it being a little skinny strip of the metre by 1/4 of a metre, it's the fat quarter. It's exactly that. And then let's look at that with the bundle, here we go. So this is the darker solids bundle. Still got jelly roll all over the table. Let's see if I move that one down. If you wanted to mix and match it with solids, you've got blues and reds in here, which are all the way through that theme of the Tim Holtz. Oh, we're missing one. Where's the green? Lost a green. Oh no, it's a black. It's a black. There we go. And let's just move those across so you can see. Just coming through with the different blues and reds. Can we look at that? There we go. Just catching up. YGRW03 is your Correspondence bundle here. That's the most popular, this Mayfair bundle here is the most popular solid bundle with those 5 different colours, 2.5 metres in total. So let's move these back off. See, I like to show you exactly what's going on in the bundle, but I create a lot of mess for myself. It's not very, let's just try and gather up a bit. And I say, our director's saying, are you creating mess for yourself or for Jay, who is our floor manager, who does have to do all the folding? Sorry, Jay. Move these over to the side. Okay. So those people wanting to see those new half metre Tim Holtz fabrics, so I'll just quickly recap these before we go back to our pre-cuts. Which one's most popular? Is it still the tailoring? Still the tailoring. We can't get away from sewing. Even when we try and go really masculine and with different things, we still get back to sewing. There we go. So that's the tailoring fabric, the most popular from the Tim Holtz collection this morning. Just quickly show you these. Let's fold this in half. That's tailored. Then this one, also really popular, is the neutral gears. Also typography, another very popular one. These three the most popular this morning. Wanted to look at those three together. And when you see them side by side, if you wanted to mix and match them, then you really easily can. Lots of people with typography in their basket. So this one, ZBRW67, 7.45 per half metre. Lots of you with it in your basket online. Remember, so you can order online, you can pop that in your basket. If it is in your basket, particularly when you have things that go really quickly, say, for example, the advent calendars yesterday, dare I bring it up, they sold out in 7 minutes. But if something's in your basket, it isn't guaranteed as your order until it's been checked out. So lots of people can put things into their basket, so make sure you do check it out. Then also we've got cigars. Let's lay that one over the top. And your diamonds. Here's our cigar one. These are really nice quality fabric, really soft, 100% cotton. They've got quite a nice silky feel to them. This one here is your cigars. Then onto the plaid that you can just see here. And then just creeping in that side section, you can see we've also got diamonds, but all of these, 7.45 per half metre. This would be, I really do think I'd like to see a shirt made out of this. Or a skirt, actually. A nice little skirt, black tights, black boots, very nice. So we've also got some more pre-cuts to show you, so let's move these to the side. Which one should we go for? Okay, so we're going to whiz through these. We've got layer cakes this morning, or these ones are actually called crafting packs, but you might know them as layer cakes. So we've got 12-inch squares. Again, a pre-cut, so I'll just show you some of these fabrics in here. With the classic Tim Holtz influence, you've got the numbers and typography and things coming through, and also quite definite sort of drawn designs. This is a lovely snippet of Tim Holtz. You get 8 pieces in this craft pack. These are 12-inch squares. Lovely if you want to take a small section to patchwork. See, that's so unusual. You wouldn't think that that was the same designer, would you? But it is. Then you've also got a couple more under there. Stamps. One more. So if you just like Tim Holtz, you're not sure if you want to go for one fabric, you want a little taster, you've got there 8 pieces in the crafting pack. Then we've also got a slightly smaller layer cake. These must be 10-inch squares. Let me double check. Yes, 10-inch squares. You get 42 pieces in here, so this really is a taster. Or more than a taster, really. You're getting lots and lots of different prints from the collection. I'll just show you some of these. Little corners. Let's move this over. So you get some doubles in this. But where the prints are different, you will get different sections of the print, so no 2 pieces of fabric the same. Loads of different prints in there. 42 different pieces, as I said. But if you've been watching all morning, you'll understand that Tim Holtz influence and the feel. You'll understand what the vibe of those fabrics is. Then we've also got another Tim Holtz fat quarter bundle. This is a 16-piece fat quarter bundle. So I'll just show you. Oh, we're very limited stock on this one. This one is called Wallflower. I'm just going to open one. This one I love. I put it on top on purpose with that bird. Let's see. Let's just put some of these squares around so you can see what's in the pack. Lots of neutrals in this. Some more greens. It's got a bit more of an influence from nature in this bundle, in the Wallflower bundle. You've got butterflies, you've got leaves and trees. Different prints that we've not really seen before. Feathers. I think this is my favourite of the pre-cut bundles. Let me just open one more. Oh, if someone's into gardening, things like that, you've got lovely, all different insects and dictionary definitions, things like that. LARW49, very limited stock of that one. 16 pieces in that fat quarter bundle, so again, comes all wrapped up, like a lovely little stack, a present from... A nice little present to yourself on a Friday morning. People putting that in their baskets already, you do need to check that one out, $59.95. Or give the call centre a ring, 0800 112 4433. That's for the Wallflower. Remember as well, we've got our little break in a minute. We're going to be making a brand new Joe Carter toy, so all of your instructions and your kits coming up if you want to make one of these. Oh, he's so cute. Look at that. Look at his little tail as well. All that lovely Joe Carter detail. I've not heard any names yet for our robin this morning. Come on, let me know the names for the robin. We do normally go for alliteration. Rodney the robin? That doesn't sound right, does it? So the craft pack with the 8 pieces, this 12-inch crafting pack. So you get nice big squares. If you see the 10 and 12 side by side, you can see the difference there. But this one, the 8-piece 30 centimetre squares or 12-inch squares. Lots and lots of you have popped that one in your basket, $19.95, I think, because of that, really wanting to get that snippet of the Tim Holtz fabric, but for good value for money as well, $19.95. So maybe you've never seen it before and you're wanting to just have a little taster of that in your stash. I love the Atlas print. It's a good go-to print for those masculine projects. And a good usable size as well, the 12-inch square, 30 centimetres. So please do be careful if you want that one. You do need to check out your baskets. That's going really quickly. Great value for money in terms of getting a taster from the Tim Holtz collections and prints. So this morning in this hour, we've launched those brand new Tim Holtz fabrics by the half metre. We've never had them before. Really popular is the tailoring fabric on the navy blue background. Nice rich looking fabric. And then you've also got the neutral gears. And one more is the typography. Those three really popular. Should we just look at those? There we go. This one here is your tailoring. This one here is your neutral gears. And this one typography. Which one's in the lead? Is it still tailoring? Still this tailoring one. You're loving that this morning. Move that down. So in the next hour, just after this 3-minute break, so you haven't got time to, well, you've got time to quickly grab a cup of tea if you want to. We're doing a brand new Jo Carter toy. We're doing the Robin. So you might be able to see our little one sitting on the shelf behind me there. But our brand new Jo Carter Robin that Jo's been making. Oh, someone's suggested Christopher Robin. I like that. That's a nice idea. Good old Winnie the Pooh. And Tim suggested, what did he suggest? Banks. Banks the Robin. I don't understand that one. You'll have to explain that to me in the break. So we've got lots of different names for our Robin coming in. Keep sending them in. We need to name our Robin toy. And this is a lovely, great value toy that we can give for Christmas or make for yourself if you want. Don't go anywhere. We will see you in 3 minutes for our little Banks Christopher Robin.
Join us on Facebook. Simply search for the Sewing Quarter and like our page for the latest news and more.
Tune in on Saturday the 28th of October as Lucy Brennan returns with some brand new Creative Grids rulers. If you liked her last selection, boy will you love the latest range, which will help you create awe-inspiring effects with ease. These time-saving tools are a must for any regular quilter, and coupled with Lucy's expertise, they'll help you take your skills to a whole new level. Join Lucy as she gets creative with the pineapple border, colour wheel and spider's web rulers, to name but a few. That's Saturday the 28th of October at 9 AM and 11 AM, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78.
Follow us on Pinterest. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to discover sewing work we create and love.
Get cosy with a cuppa and an early mince pie this Saturday as we celebrate Christmas with Mandy Shaw. Mandy has the perfect collection of Christmas ideas that'll charm the whole family this festive season. From stockings and advent calendars to wreaths and decorations, Mandy has everything you could possibly need for a traditional celebration. So, join John Scott and Mandy Shaw for a fabulously festive morning, Saturday the 28th of October at 8 AM and 10 AM, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78.
Follow us on Instagram. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to get our latest posts.
Follow us on Twitter for more inspiration, top tips, news, and share your own creations with us.
Tune in on Tuesday the 31st of October for an hour of fabric and fashion with John Scott and guest Jennifer Mills. John will unveil the Plaid range, a brand new collection of soft flannel fabrics available in multiple colour options. This cosy cotton is ideal for creating stylish additions to your winter wardrobe. And it just so happens that Jennifer has the perfect project for us. She'll be making a classic plaid dress, as seen in the popular Great British Sewing Bee book. We'll showcase a range of useful tools and plenty of dressmaking tips along the way. So, join us for this jam-packed hour of dressmaking fun, Tuesday the 31st of October at 9 AM, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78.
It's time. We're launching our brand new Robin toy this morning, so another lovely Jo Carter design. Look at this. And I get it now. We had Tim message in who said we should name our Robin Banks. Robin Banks, I'm with you. I took a little while to click. Now we couldn't possibly name him that. We had Christopher Robin. What other name suggestions have we got for this morning? We know that this is going to fly out, and so often with our Joe Carter toys, they go so quickly. Well, today we've actually got loads and loads of stock because we know that you're going to love this one. We know you're going to want to make this for Christmas, but we know that they are so popular, and there's always the chance that they're going to sell out because of the popularity of Joe's toys and how easy they are to put together. So let's have a look at the bundle. You've got browns and reds in this one, 2 bundle options for the Robin. This is the one that's made up, and what's lovely about this fabric is you get that texture. It almost makes it look a bit fluffy and almost like feathers. So we've got reds and browns. Wow, already people in the baskets. And teamed with your felt, your thread. Also, you've got your white fabric there for the tummy, which gives you that iconic robin shape. And then you get your wadding and your instructions as well. I'll just show you these instructions. This is what you get. So these are all written by Joe, who's going to talk us through the process this morning. But you get step-by-step instructions. Wow, people checking it out really quickly. We know people love Joe's toys. You don't want to miss out. Not surprising. He's a popular little fella, our Robin, Christopher Robin. But you've got your templates there, step-by-step instructions and photography. All the way through. So this is one of our colourways. You can see that almost looks like a velvet where you've got the texture in the fabric, which is really nice. Then we've also got another colour option. Well, it's the same colours, but with different fabrics. So it's a spot-on red and a darker chocolate brown. And then again teamed with the same felt and the white for the tummy and your thread too. So again, you get this with it and your white. And your instructions, your wadding, everything you need to make it. This is how much stuffing you're going to get. So you've got loads and loads of it, plenty to make a Robin. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's get cracking with our Robin. We haven't got time for me to talk at you. I want you to know how you actually make it. So I'll take our instructions and our Robin over. Joe, you've been avidly sewing right up to the mark this morning. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Are you stressed with our Robin?
I'm there or thereabouts.
You're there. It was just all a bit last minute getting fabric to Joe today, so it's all been quick sewing. So our lovely little Robin. Where did your ideas come for this one? Come from?
I just like the idea of like almost a baby bird, sort of with little wings before they're fully grown, and it's just a little chubby Robin.
The chubby little Robin, and he's perfect for Christmas. We've got pellets in this one, so you could use him as a little doorstop if you wanted to. Really cute. Perfect for Christmas, obviously, to give as a gift or to have as a decoration if you want to. And how easy was this one to make?
It's well, I'm never quite sure how to quantify this.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. This is good for an intermediate project.
Yes, it is. I like to play it safe and go down the middle with an intermediate.
Okay.
But the tricky bits, I think, would be maybe sewing the feet on, but then the shapes do follow, so you're not having to bring fabric round to meet curves or anything. So whilst they are small curves, it's got to work with you. They work together, both the fabrics.
The one on your screen is for this Robin here. So you've got, I love this fabric because it looks like, it's got that texture to it. It kind of looks almost fluffy, doesn't it? Or a bit velvety. So the bundle on your screen is for this one with the red and brown. That's the main graphic. The one on the bottom is for the spot-on red and for the solid brown fabric. So 2 different colourways. We've got a message already from Jill. Morning, Jill. Just bought my Robin. Can't wait to get started. He's a cutie.
Oh, thanks,
Jill.
See,
that took 2 minutes for you to get that, Jill. Thank you so much for managing to get a Robin. Lots of you already checking out. Oh, we've had an email as well. Who was that one from? From Sandra. Morning. She loves the Robin. They're her favourite bird. They are a lovely little bird, aren't they?
They are.
Oh, she's multi-buying Robins this morning. She's going to make a couple of different Robins. And we might be able to squeeze 2 out of this bundle, you said, didn't you? But just without the white.
There's enough white in to make one, this small chest panel. But if you place the templates economically and cut out economically, you can get 2 out of the brown. So all the pieces out of the brown. But if you're going to make the inner bag, which is in the pattern, don't make that out of the brown, or cut it out at the end when you know you've got
scrap.
Yes, scrap else. Or the red. Well, there's plenty of red. You could make it out of the red instead.
It's got like almost a heart inside, wrapped up with pellets in there. So how do we get started with our Robin? Okay, yes, Christopher Robin. That's a good name, isn't it?
I quite like Christopher.
I like that suggestion.
First step is the wings.
Okay.
So this is the wing piece. You need to cut 4 wing pieces out, and 2 with the template one way and 2 with the template flipped over the other way, because a wing is made with 2 mirror image pieces.
Okay, just before you get started, producer Hannah's saying we need to do something. What was that? The graphics on your screen, so this one just coming up. This bundle, wow, already over 50 of you have checked that one out. We're on the 5th minute of the hour and 50 of those have gone. QIGC33, that's for the Rockin Robin in this colour combination. Then you've also got a different combination if you want to use the spot-on red fabric teamed with the darker brown. So we'll just get the graphic for that one so you can see if you do want to have just a different colourway. So then you'd have a spotty tummy. You'd have a little spotty tummy, wouldn't
really
it?
Really cute as well, yeah.
URGC66. Someone messaged in, lots of you with that one in your basket too. Someone messaged in and said, oh, Banks is a good name for the robin. And I was going, Banks the robin? I don't get it. Banks. And now we get it. Robin Banks. That's also a good suggestion. So you said you do your wings. That's where we start.
Okay, so 2 mirror image wing pieces on top of the other, right sides together, and I'm going to sew around the outside. Now, if you find it easier, I've left all my tools in my trolley. Yeah.
What do you need?
I'm not prepared today. So that if you want, because sometimes when the foot of the machine you get to here and it sort of obscures the edge of the fabric and you've got this corner to go at, sometimes it is easier to draw on with a this is the water erasable pen, obviously, because it's my favourite tool.
Your favourite thing ever in the world.
But you can draw on where you want the stitch line to go, just so you've got something to follow, because it can be a bit tricky to see where you're up to with the foot there and all the rest of it. So just so you get the corner.
Just got something to follow.
Yes. A guideline.
A bit like with the whale yesterday, it just gives you something there, doesn't it?
Yes, and it really
under the machine, it makes a difference.
It does, and it really helps with the tail as well. I'll make sure I don't press the wrong button.
I love the detail of the wings. It would be very easy to have just made those completely without that depth and, you know, sort of splitting them up so it's got little sections of wing, wouldn't it, just to have done it plain? But I love the detail. And it's mirrored in the tail as well, isn't it?
It is. I mean, you don't have to put the stitch lines in.
I like them.
Do the channels.
I really like the channels.
But they, as well as giving a little bit of extra detail, they help, because wings need to be flat. They stop, if you filled the wings without the lines there, they'd be a bit, just a bit chunky. So it helps to sort of flatten them down.
Give him a bit more so he's ready to fly away. He'd be so lovely sat next to your Christmas tree, or you could have him on the mantelpiece, couldn't you? Or give him as a toy.
Yes, I like one sat on the fireplace.
Sat on the fireplace.
Yeah.
He's just ready to, like a bookend.
Yes.
Actually, yeah, if you do have the weight in there as well, you can use them like bookends.
And make a good doorstop as well.
A Christmas doorstop.
Nice festive doorstop, yeah.
So just drawing around that template and then, like you said, flipping it over, and so you've got a reverse side, so you've got wings that are both going to go fly backwards rather than...
If you've got non-symmetrical pieces, if it does say cut 2 or cut 4, always half one way and half the other. So then you can't really see the stitching too well on this fabric, but I'm just going to snip into the internal corners here and here.
Okay.
Taking care to not catch the stitching. And then I'm just going to take a couple of V-shaped notches out of these curves just to help it turn and give a smooth edge.
Please do check out your baskets on the robin. It's really, really popular. We're in the hundreds already on these robins, so QIGC33, Rockin Robin. And I did it this morning. I thought every time you say that, you have to go tweet, tweet, tweet.
There we go. So I'll just cut these out.
Producer Hannah's saying she might make one for her friend called Robin. Robin for Robin.
Robin for Robin would be perfect. There we go. So I'll turn this the right way out. So I've just taken those notches out of the curves.
Okay.
And then the stitch lines for these channels on the wings are marked on the template, so you can transfer them
just in here.
From your template on, or I'm just going to wing it and I'll just draw them on.
But you've got the step-by-step, it tells you here in the instructions, but also at the back. Where's our wings? Are they right? If you've not seen Joe's instructions, there they are. They're really, really clear. Joe puts these together. You write and design all of this, don't you?
I do.
So you step by step all the way through, so you know people know exactly what to do. We've got a message from Angela from Staffordshire. So morning to Angela. Just managed to get myself a robin. Can't wait to make him with Joe's polar bear.
Oh.
See, everyone's going to have a house full of Joe.
They would make a great pair, the polar bear and the robin.
Have we got the polar bear? This is an exclusive sewing quarter design that Joe's done for us this morning. Sometimes they've been in the magazines before, haven't they?
Yes, this one is only available through Sewing Quarter. This is an exclusive one.
Aren't we lucky? Oh, look at that. He's so cute.
So I've just transferred with the pen the stitch lines I want to put on. I mean, if you've got the template as a guide, I've just gone for it. I've made a few of these wings already.
You're getting the idea of how...
So I'm going to start here, reverse back over the first couple of stitches to secure them, and then just go to the end there and reverse back and forward just to secure those end 2 stitches.
It's looking a bit like a glove at the moment, isn't it?
It is a bit.
Yeah, like I said, I really like the channels. I really think it just gives it a little bit more detail. Again, it's just the attention to detail and making it realistic.
Snip those away and do this one.
Like I said, there's 2 different colourways for the robin, so they are the same colours, but they're just different fabrics. So the brown one here, this brown and red one that I'm holding, this is the main one that you can see on your screens at the moment with that, what's another word for mottled? It's just got that different sort of depth to it, hasn't it, with the darker and lighter sections, and you can see on the brown as well.
Almost like a darker colour, the darker brown's just been sponged over just to give it...
Just like sponged off.
Yes.
It just makes it look like it's got a bit of as fluffy or feathery. So that's one option, but then you've also got an option for a red spot on with a dark brown fabric, which is a solid, so which is nice. You have a little spotty tummy. That's that one there. Both of them come in with the big bag of toy stuffing. You've got your orange felt as well and a little strip of white. We're more limited with the stock on that one, so if you do like that one, URGC66. Both of them are $19.99. And as Jo was saying, you've got enough in there to make 2 robins. It's just the tiny little white tummy that you need to be careful with. You might need a little bit more white fabric, but for the main body of the bird, you'd have enough fabric to do 2.
And you could always do that in brown if you wanted. It didn't have to have that white. That white panel.
Hundreds of robins have already they've flown out to new nests. They've flown the nest this morning.
Okay, so I'm just stuffing the channels now and just pushing it into the curves at the bottom, just to push those curves out and get that nice rounded shape. There we go. That's one channel done.
If you've not seen Jo's Toys before as well, you do usually sort of follow a process, don't you, in terms of you like to get all of the little pieces ready to go. So then once you get to the point where you've got the main body, you can just insert all of those, whether it's feet or tails or wings or fins or flippers or whatever it might be.
Anything that needs to be basted on and then sewn, it gets sewn into a seam, I like to have those done.
So you can get them all laid out, ready to go, and then it's just assembly, isn't it, at that point?
So there we go, so the middle channel done. And the top of the wing, I stuff the channels, but the top of the wing is there's just a very small amount in the top.
So it can lay a bit more flat?
Yes, and just you get a nice flappy wing.
Yeah, if that was really solidly stuffed, it might be a bit rigid. Or they would sit with their wings up, wouldn't it? If they had lots of stuffing in there, it could be like that, ready to fly away. Do you want me to stuff that? Or do you want...
Would you mind?
Yeah,
just that last one, and then I'll go on to the tail. I have a wing already done there.
Shelley's just bought a robin. Morning, Shelley. Well done. She loves all of Jo's toys, don't we all? Oh. We're so lucky. We are so lucky. They've just got such character. They've all got little personalities, which is what I love.
My watchword, when I'm doing a face or finishing a toy, jolly.
Jolly?
I just aim for jolly.
They need to be, you don't want miserable looking toys. I don't think there could be anything worse than finishing a toy and thinking, oh, you look a bit fed up. Got a fed up polar bear or robin or something.
So I've just drawn with the pen where I want to sew, just so it will be even on each side. So I've got the same sort of cornering there, they'll be the same size. So
but this is a similar sort of shape to the wings, isn't it?
It is.
So once you've done that, you will know.
So it's more, this sort of thing can be a bit fiddly, but just take it easy. I always say this, the needle down function on the machine's brilliant, because you just do a couple of stitches and just pivot it round.
And you want a little bit of stuffing in the top, you said, didn't you? So
yeah, just a tiny bit.
Okay. Very therapeutic. I quite enjoy this bit. I can see why you say you always overstuff. I think because once you start, you just want to keep...
I do.
Just keep pushing it in.
Regularly, at the end, I think, oh, it's really solid, and I'll have to sort of remove some of the stuffing.
Doesn't your son sometimes say? What is it he says? That
it's like a stone, Mum. It's like a stone. Sorry.
It's like a stone, Mum. Just like a heavy stone.
There we go. So I've stitched around there. And again, just going to snip into the internal corners, and I'll just clip V-shaped notches into these bits here, just to take out some of the bulk.
Hundreds and hundreds of these robins have got out this morning. QIGC33, Rockin Robin, that's the one we're working on at the moment with that mottled or spongy sort of fabric with the red and brown. Perfect for Christmas. This is an exclusive Joe Carter design here at Sewing Quarter this morning, so it's not taken from a magazine. These instructions have been made exclusively for us. All of your templates in here, everything in your kit to make the robin, fabric, wadding, thread, everything you need. So lovely Sewing Quarter exclusive, ready for Christmas. There it is, side by side.
Okay, so I'm going to turn the tail the right way out. And again, this has stitch lines again, like the wings have. I can't find my words this morning, sorry. There we go, just push that out. I mean, you give these a press if you wanted before adding the stitch lines. For the sake of time, I'll just...
So you use a mini iron for that?
Yes.
Just, yeah.
There we go.
Please do check out your baskets on this one. Despite me saying right at the beginning of the show, we've got loads of stock of this, and we've ordered more than we probably ever have before with a toy, and this one already is looking like it's going to completely fly out, so please do check out your baskets.
There we go. So I machine these, and same principle as before, although I go from the edge to edge this time.
Oh, so you're going all the way from the top this time.
So these are complete channels. With the wings, there's that bit at the top
that's not.
Yeah.
So you can just see here on the wing, the channels just stopping here. So you've got this squidgy section at the top, which can sit there flat against the main body of the bird. But with the tail, those channels going all the way right into the seam.
So we've got those channels then create 3 different sections. Now I started stuffing a tail already, just because they're a little bit more fiddly, these channels. So I've done the central one.
I always think if someone just listened to some of the phrases we say here, oh, stuffing the tail, or, you know, stuffing the wing, don't overstuff the wing so it's like a stone, people would think, what are they talking about?
I regularly use the phrase fiddle factor as well, which...
What level of fiddle factor is it? Is it an intermediate project?
Well, sometimes I'll make something and I just think, oh... I made a magazine project recently, and I made it and just thought, that's virtually impossible. And so the only way...
The only person that can make this is me.
And so all I did, I just boosted the size. I scanned the entire pattern in and boosted the size and tried it again. And on a bigger scale, it was workable. It was much
more doable.
It was easy to do then. But
it is amazing. If things are really small and fiddly and intricate, it does all of a sudden make it much tougher, doesn't it?
It does. And often just increasing the size can.
Because it's even things like with curves, then you're sewing really sharp curves, aren't you? And got to manage it.
And it's not always the sewing. Sometimes it can be the actual stuffing and finishing as well that can be difficult, and turning out the right way if something's really small. Right, so I've got the tail and both wings there ready. So I'm just going to baste the tops together so that the edges are definitely lined up and one won't slip away when I stitch it in later.
So you're going to secure that?
But also to seal the filling in place. I might take a tiny bit out just to make that a bit easier.
So let's just pop those instructions on there.
So I based within the seam allowance, so the stitches won't show at the end and I don't have to remove them.
And the seam allowance is built into the template, so you haven't got to think about adding that?
No, that's included. There we go, that's one.
This is the point where we start to line up all the bits and pieces that are going to be added to... Will we do the feet as well like this too?
The feet are
they
stitched.
Attached? Oh, they're stitched in?
I have some ready stitched in feet.
Little feet. This is like he's laying back. He's going to have a little sunbathe.
I always think that pose sort of looks like they've just sort of fell back a bit stunned. There we go, so they're ready. And then I'll move on to the face. I'll just make sure I'm doing it in order because there we go. Right, these are the face pieces.
Let's check Joe's own instructions. So we've done the feet and tail, that was that first bit, and then we move on to the face.
Yes.
Yep.
So these are the face pieces, and I'm going to sew them together along the top. So this seam here, and then I'll put the beak in.
Okay, so just this top section. Joe's off to stay in a wigwam this weekend, aren't you, Joe?
I am.
I'm quite envious. I think that sounds like fun. Do you know what the weather's going to be like? Is it going to be...
Not great.
Not great. Wigwam weather.
Well, it sounds very cosy and there's a heater and...
You're not going to just be sat shivering, you
know? No, well, hopefully not. Now I'm just going to finger press this seam open. And then the beak, this is the beak piece. And this section at the top, this is the top of the beak. And it looks a bit awkward, but I think instead of a curve going in with straight lines and corners actually makes it easier because you can sew... I'll line that one up. Sew up to here, and then pause with the needle down through the fabric, lift the presser foot and reposition and bring that round and then line up that one, pause again with the needle down and just reposition it round like that.
Well, with the straight lines as well, there's less chance for you to not know exactly where it needs to go. There's an obvious place, isn't there, where that needs to sit and where that line needs to go.
Curves can easily sort of slip off course.
You end up with a little pucker or...
Yeah, so let's... And if you wanted to clip slightly into these corners just so it was easier to pivot and turn, that's fine.
So the main thing here is once you get to the end of a straight line is keeping the needle down. And
yes. So I'll get to that point, pause with the needle down, lift everything up, make sure this seam is still open, just so it will lie a bit nicer, a bit flatter. I'm just going to flick out that fabric just so it's moved out of the way and that doesn't get caught underneath. And then sew along the next bit. That's about the middle, I think. I should probably have drawn it on, taken my own advice. And then move that around. Again, I'll flick that corner out of the way just so that lies flat.
But as you do this, it's naturally going to start to pull the fabric together, isn't it? Because obviously you're creating that pinched front section for the beak.
Yep. So needle down again, and then that last section. Just move that out of the way.
With the felt as well, it's nice to add another texture rather than it just being...
It is. Yeah, it adds that little bit of...
Something else, doesn't it?
It does. There we go. So that's the beak in. And these will just press out. They're not tucks as such. They're just where it's been folded. So that's the beak in position.
That's this one ready to go.
So I think that's the easiest way of doing it with the straight edges.
This is going to become this?
Yes, because that will come together and make a beak.
I'm with you. That is so clever.
So now...
You can fast forward ahead so much more readily in your head than I can and see how that is going to become... I find it quite hard to visualise sometimes until I see it.
I think because, well, I work it all out from a drawing in the first place. So I think that makes it...
You've started at that point rather than at this point.
So I'll open these seams up and I'm going to sew the bottom of the face together. We'll put the beak in now.
Okay. So this is step 3 on here. All of these steps are all in the instructions. Tells you exactly what you need, and everything you need is in the kit anyway. And we've got your finished size and some little notes that you need telling you about the seam allowance, but then the cutting out, how to follow, making the wings and everything you need.
To make sure the beak lines up.
See, now I can see it. Now it's in that cone shape.
And I'm just going to clip away the tip there just to make that so it fits inside the point of the beak a little bit more comfortably. So that, I'll turn it out
now
that way.
Now I'm with Joe, now I'm with you.
So that's the face. But I'll turn that back this way. And then I'm going to attach the back of the head. Let's get rid of that thread.
So this bit here.
And there they are. This is the back of the head. We've got it shaped down in an angle, more so that the wings in the seam are sort of angled in instead of going straight across.
So this here coming into a point more than we've maybe seen before.
So the long side is the back of the head. And I'm just going to put these together right sides and sew not all the way down, just for about a couple of inches, 4 or 5 centimetres, just to join them. And then that makes it easier joining in a minute when I join front and back head. This is the technique. If somebody's made one of my toys, this is the way. Because often toys can be, the body's made and the head is made separately and then the hands sewn together. but I think it's more secure if they're machine sewn together along the neck seam to hold them together.
But also as well, it's what you were talking about before, where if you've got a whole completed head and you've got a whole circle going into a circle, that can be quite hard to put in.
It can.
Really neatly and cleanly, whereas by keeping it open and putting it in while it's still open, it's easier to pull them together.
So there we go, I've just joined those two pieces together at the top.
Okay.
And along the back for a short seam. And then finger press this open, and I'm going to line up this seam with the central one in the head and stitch the head and the back head together down either side in 2 goes. And I mean, you can do it all in one, starting from one edge and going all the way around, but I find it easier and will line up. If I line these seams up in the first place and sew from them, then I know that they're straight and they're lined up at the top.
So you go centre out and then back to the centre and back out and around the other side.
Yeah.
So it's just this point here at the moment where we're attaching the front head to the back of the head. And then around here. This toy just makes me smile. I just think I don't know, you can't not like a robin.
No, I love it when the robins are in the garden. We have a pair in our garden, yeah.
I think, where do they go? Because you don't see them, do you? They just disappear in the summer.
Fortunately, my cat is bright white as well, so he doesn't do well with birds. They do see him approaching.
That's probably no bad thing.
There we go. So that side's sewn on. I think this is the picture in the instructions, actually. And then I'll sew the other side
this one here
together. So again, from the top and out.
We've had a message in from Rita. What was that? Rita says, hi to both of us. She wanted to say thank you to Jo for getting her started in toy making.
Oh, that's so nice to hear.
Thanks. Oh, that's nice. Send us a picture of what you've made, Rita. Come on, you've got to share. What picture? What have you made? I've lost count of the number of toys you've done now, and it's only been less than a year.
I know, I've done a few.
You've done quite a few.
But then when anyone asks, oh, what have you done on the shows, I think I can maybe name
Panda
2.
Pop, that's what you go to, the Panda Pop quilt.
There we go. So that now is the head section done. So I'll flip the beak out so it's more obvious where we're up to. So that's the head and back of head. There we go.
That's really clear, isn't it? Where that's kind of what's happening there.
So,
just before we go any further, I'm just going to recap the bundles that we've got for this little robin this morning. So what's the next step? We'll just be looking at...
I'll get all my body pieces over here. And
so we're ready to start looking at that bit. OK, I'll take our robin with us. OK. So the robin that we've been working with, that you've been seeing all morning, this is the one that's made up here. Hundreds and hundreds of you have checked this one out, so well done if you've managed to get a robin this morning, a Christopher robin. But we've still got some stock of this if you do like this robin. Again, you've got that, like Jo was saying, it's almost spongy texture look fabric. So there you get that lovely, lovely depth of colour. So you've got the red and brown, so you've got a metre of fabric, half a metre of each. You've also got the orange felt, you've got your thread, all of your wadding and your instructions, $19.99. QIGC33. Lots of you with that still in your basket, so make sure you check it out if you like that one. Or you can ring the call centre, that number on your screens there. And they can help you as well if you're not sure which bundle it is we're working with or you've got any questions about that, they can help you out. And then we've also got another colourway. So you haven't seen this one being made. We are more limited with the stock on this one. But this one using a red spot on for the tummy. So just imagining that the tummy would be in that red spot, which is really lovely, and teamed with a chocolate brown, so a slightly darker brown. And again, you get your felt. You get the white fabric for the tummy, your thread, your instructions, and your wadding. URGC 66. And I'm just going to quickly show you these instructions. These are Jo Carter exclusives this morning here at Sew & Quarter. So sometimes we have animals from her magazines. You asked for a robin, we've got a robin. So we've got a Christmas robin for you. And these are Jo's instructions. So, and it's really lovely, easy to follow. Step-by-step instructions and all that photography there as well. And then your templates too that have got the seam allowance built into them, so it's including the seam allowance. Everything you need there to make the Christmas robin. Look, this robin, he's ready to head back over to Joe. He's just pointing over there. He's looking. I can see him like, let me go back to my mum. So should we take our robin back over there? Let's come. He's coming back over to you, Joe. Here we go. What's up next?
I'll do the chest and the stomach next.
Okay.
So these are these two pieces. And I've actually transferred the centre mark for at the top. It's marked on the template. I've transferred it onto this side just so I can see that these are going to line up properly. And then I'm going to sew. There's a marker here from where it starts. And it's easier to stitch with this chest piece on top and to bring this edge around the curve like that.
Rather than with the red on top.
Rather than with the red on top. And you can do it with the red on top, but this, I think, is the easier way of doing it.
It's quite an unusual shape, the red tummy piece, isn't it?
It is.
Just here, you can see. Is this because we can create this shape in the tummy at the front?
It says these are the openings for the feet and then the dart, just to give it a little bit of shape at the front.
Okay, I'm with you.
But it is an odd shape. Sometimes
just looking at it, because normally it's all much more, straight or circles. It would look maybe like more like this, but this is quite an angular.
So I'm just bringing this round. And if it looks like there's going to be a crease, you can just lift the presser foot and rearrange the fabric just so it lies a bit flatter.
I really like the addition of the white. I wasn't going to show this, but I will. Was this the first one you made?
That was my practice sample.
Your practice prototype. Yeah. And this is the robin before Joe put the white in, and it really has transformed it. I think it makes it...
It does make a huge difference.
Yeah, it really does make it look more like a... If you look side by side, all of a sudden it becomes much more recognisable as a robin. Because it is that little white tummy, isn't it?
It's just a little flash of white, isn't it? But...
It does make a difference. I've got a message from Angela. Morning, Angela. Just managed to get myself a robin. Can't wait to make him with Joe's polar bear. Oh, no, we've had that one. We've got another Angela. Another message from another Angela. She says, morning, girls. I'm having this one in my ear. Morning, girls. Morning, Angela.
Morning.
Robins don't go away in the summer. They just change colour.
Oh, do they? I see a baby
They're
one.
watching. Who are they watching? Who's watching? Angela and the bear are watching from their bed. Oh. They change colour?
I don't know. There's a baby robin in our garden, and it doesn't have the red
tummy.
No, but it's sort of recognisable as a robin because it sort of behaves in the same way, same sort of shape, but it doesn't. I'm sure it's all brown at first.
Oh really? I didn't know that. Learned something new this morning. Thanks, Angela. Sonia's got her robin. She's just checking out. And they do still come in the summer. See, I'm learning. So Sonia's also saying they still come in the summer. She's got a robin named Moses in her garden.
Oh, we had one called Tufty.
Tufty?
Yes.
See, everyone's naming their robins.
So, yeah, now I look at this, objectively, that is quite an odd shape at the bottom of the...
Yeah, see, this is what I meant. There it is. You can see just on that close-up coming up now.
But these openings here are for the feet.
So that's where those are going to slot in. Like you said, that's the dart to create the shape at the front. Okay.
So it's not as complicated as it looks. At least I hope it's not as complicated as it looks. And now I'm going to join on. These are the side body pieces.
This is this.
So they join together like this.
The darts really help to give it that little bit of extra shape, don't they, at the bottom?
They do.
And again here. Okay.
So I'm going to finger press this seam open. I mean, you could press it properly if you wanted, but I'm just going to give that a finger press and then stitch this side piece. And there should be a marker on the pattern piece to show where this will fall, just so you know you're on track.
So you can follow exactly where that's going to be.
Yeah.
That's the thing, isn't it, as well? If you've got the instructions there, you want to make it exactly as you see it. Follow don't maybe go off course or try and... Sometimes you think you might know intuitively where it needs to go, but actually...
Yes.
Follow those instructions.
And the photographs, they're photographs I take as I'm making something. So I try to make sure I photograph every
step
stage.
Where it's changed or where it's something different. See, look, this is exactly that step that Joe's talking about now, where we just laid that on the desk. Okay. Just working our way through. Really clear, that's what we just saw on the desk there, and you'll recognise those steps that we've already done. Then we're going to get to this section, I imagine, with the feet.
So I'll just join the other side piece on, and then we'll get to the feet, which I hope are not as tricky as they look.
And the feet as well, it's almost like those I recognise these feet from another toy, and I can't remember what one it is. I remember us doing this.
Toe stitches.
Yes. What?
A few things have. I think the budgie might have a toe stitch.
Yes. But his feet are different shape to this, aren't they?
Yes, I think the budgie just has one toe stitch. Perfect. Toe stitch is what I call them. I'm not. Technically, I don't suppose they're toes, are they? But...
Well, I think we can call them toes.
I hope that sort of explains.
Toasty little Robin with his toes. So at what point, Jo, do you think we're going to do wardrobe options for your toys?
Do you think clothing?
Yeah, I think
I'm not much of a dressmaker. Maybe that's how I could learn.
On little miniature versions, make it even harder for yourself. Or we could get one of our dressmakers to do wardrobe options for the popular toys. So you could have a whole range of different garments for robins and budgies and polar bears and whales.
A whale? What would a whale wear? I think a tuxedo, probably.
A bow tie or something like that.
So this is the main body piece now, and I'm going to join the feet. Add the feet. Now this is the back foot piece.
Yeah.
And this opening here, this sort of diamond shape opening, corresponds with this opening here. So not this bottom section. This will be a dart, this will be this bit here. So the stomach comes together below the feet as well. So that's this area. But I'm just going to stitch this piece around, I'll draw it on just so it's more obvious. So around this area. So from here, stitch it round. And again, because it's straight lined, you can pause at the corners and pivot
with that
the
needle
fabric
down,
round.
just go round.
So I'm going to move the seam towards the brown so that it won't get caught in the sewing. So I've moved that one out of the way.
Have you done a duck?
A duck. I must have done one at some point. I've
not seen a duck yet.
At some point in my life, I must have made
puddle
one.
duck. Yeah, I'm sure you have. It was the feet that made me think of duck.
So I'm going to pause there with the needle down, pivot, and the shapes sort of mirror each other, so you don't have to fight with the fabric to get it into position. I've gone a bit far there, but that'll be fine.
So actually, the difference, whereas with the tail and the wings, you make them all together and then you put them in, with this you're doing it as you go.
This is an integral sort of part of the design. So there we go, that's stitched in around the opening here.
Okay.
But this section is still free underneath. So once we've got to that point, I'll move that one. I would sew both on and then add both bottom feet, but I'll just do one bottom foot now. And this looks like it would be tricky, but actually you start here with the bottom of the foot that's marked and bring it round. And these shapes, these curves mirror each other, so they match up. And actually this can just be moved out of the way as you sew it round. It looks like it would get in the way during sewing, but it doesn't.
So you're sewing all the way around the edges of both sides of the toes or foot, if you like?
Yes, from the bottom and finishing at the bottom again.
Okay.
And actually felt is really good. It's much easier to do this in felt than it is in cotton fabric because it's just a bit sturdier.
It's got a little bit of...
And it's got a little bit of flex and it sticks to itself, if that makes sense. It won't slip as you're sewing.
It's not good because it's not that silky feel. That reminds me of those felt games, you know, when you place things on the...
Fuzzy felt.
Yeah, fuzzy felt, that's it.
With that bit of fabric. So again,
please do check out your baskets on this one. QIGC33 is the colour robin that I've got. This is the colourway that Jo's working with this morning and with the little robin that I've got, that I'm giving a little cuddle to. But it does come in a different colourway too, which I'll show you in a second.
But again, if you wanted to draw on the line you want to stitch around to make it easier, that would work well.
It's going to be hidden anyway, isn't it? So.
And you can sponge it away with the water erasable pen. So I'm moving this out of the way now.
So there is also the spotty robin. This is the bundle that includes the spot-on red fabric and the dark brown. So that's the one on the bottom of your screen, URGC66. But again, includes all of your instructions and everything. Hundreds of these robins have found a home today.
And that's the foot fixed in place, and then just clip into the seam allowance there. And you don't really need to take... You can put V-shaped notches in, but it doesn't really matter. And then the other foot is done in the same way.
The more and more I see you do these, the more you can see there are similar techniques that cross over, aren't there? And there is a routine almost that you follow where you assemble things and how it all comes together. So once you've made a couple of Joe's toys, you really, I think, will be familiar with that process of your thought process, really.
Yes, and I always follow that sort of same style. There's no need, you can clip into there if you want, but there's no need to, because when it turns, it doesn't pull, it doesn't need to open out when it's turned the right way. So I'd never clip that section.
Okay.
So I have the feet
We're doing quite well for time. We've still got about 13 minutes or so.
Good, good. Right, I've not clipped these ones, so I'll clip into those. But these, for time, I've done some feet already. And then, I've got lots of threads. Move these out of the way. And then the bottom of the foot and this bottom bit of stomach needs to be stitched together. So from here, I'll pivot at this point and readjust and then stitch that bottom bit of stomach. So I'll do both of these, and then there's the dart in the middle as well. So is
this bit?
It's this bit here, so the bottom of the foot and down towards that bit of stomach.
So that bit under there, okay.
So it is only a small section, but it just means the feet are out of the way when we stitch the base on.
And is that what gives them the feet sitting up like that?
It does, it just lifts them up a bit.
If it was, yeah, I like them like that.
So I'm going to pause at the back of the foot and just make sure this stomach bit's lining up. So if I turn it the right way, it's that section there. So the bottom of the foot and the stomach below.
This bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, so I'll do the other side. And this now is most of the hard work done.
Nearly there.
It's just adding wings in and sewing the heads. That would be a bit of a different robin.
And also, so we will get to this, but Joe's actually put pellets in this robin. So you've got the wadding and the stuffing in there, which you've got in the wings and in the tail, and that makes it nice and squidgy. But what we've also got is a little bag inside with some pellets in, which just gives it that weight. It just has got that sort of it helps it stand up as well, doesn't it? It's a bit more weighty like that.
It does.
Just going to grab those. Oh no, these ones I was going to show you. So we do sell these pellets if you want to pop them inside. Lovely as well if you want to make it into a doorstop, because it just does give it that extra weight. But you get all these tiny little beads. You get 1 kilogram of these, and a bit better option than rice.
Yes, rice can get. Is it weevils in
it?
Or yeah.
So just giving you a nice safe option, £6.95. You get a really big bag. So if you want to use them as a bookend or a doorstop, because it is going to sit on its end, it's just got a bag of those pellets inside. And also our P&P, so £2.95 a day for our postage and packaging, and it's 1 kilogram, so it's really heavy. We don't weigh things, or it's even if you ordered a sewing machine, a great big heavy sewing machine, it would still only be £2.95 a day. So if you do want to add some pellets to your basket, then you can do, and you won't be charged any more for postage.
And these are what I used to use when I was designing for. They're exactly the same ones I used to use when I designed for factory production as well.
Oh, really? Lots of people multi-buy those pellets as well, because we didn't have them in stock for ages. It took us 8, and then when we reordered them. So you can just, and also because it's one postage and packaging, and if you were ordering them maybe online, you might pay more for postage, so people just buy a few bags. Get them in their stash.
So I've stitched together the dart in the centre of the stomach, and I've just tapered the end and sort of rounded it onto the fold in the fabric, just so it finishes. It's a bit smoother, the finish. It doesn't finish in a corner so much.
So this part?
So, that's that bit.
Okay.
And now I'm going to baste the wings in place. So the wings, the long side of the wing towards the stomach. I've got bits of clippings everywhere. And then
that was like I opened a jelly roll and that just goes, that's the worst for a little bits of fluff.
So there are markers. Is the pattern around?
Yes.
Because they're not quite on the seam, so the wing starts here. And I put my markers going this way, just so they don't get confused with darts, because some toys have really tiny darts in, so I put them that way. But this one here corresponds with where the head joins onto the body. So it's the wider ones that correspond with the wing.
This bit, you mean?
That's the start of the wing and that's the end. This is where the head joins.
Ah, okay, okay. So these are wing notches and this is the head. And those longer sides being closest to the tummy, so you can see on the finished robin here, that longest channel when you're laying those, so that the wings are going backwards rather than heading the wrong way.
There we go. So that's one wing on. I possibly wore the clunkiest bracelet for sewing in.
No, earlier on I was thinking, what a good colour match with your top it was.
I didn't know. Colour, great. Noise-wise, possibly.
Just like this
not
on the table.
Not the best.
I wore bangles once, you know, like a... when they're all mixed in together, and it was so. Every time I touched the table, it sounded like I was doing jingle bells or something. It was all clinking.
Festive though.
Festive.
It'd be quite nice.
Yeah, it was just being Father Christmas for the morning.
There we go. So that's the wings basted on, and I think, not that I don't remember. I think I probably joined the head on at this point rather than the base. I think the base probably went on last. It did, the head went on there. It's always good to know. Right.
So even Jo needs her own instructions sometimes.
Just a
That's how clear
reminder.
they are. You can just follow your own instructions.
Well, I don't
That
want...
is because you've got about 50 toys in your brain as well.
Yes, I have the elephant later. I mean, they're not... You would think they weren't easy to confuse, an elephant and a robin, but...
But the process, because like I said, you do follow that logical step-by-step.
So I'm just going to pin it, line up the centre mark and the seam, and I'm going to pop a pin in. Always remember to remove pins with toys. There we go, I'll pop that in. And you can sew from the centre out or all the way along, whichever you prefer. I often will sew from the centre out just to make sure it's lined up, so I'll do that this time.
Matching.
Just so the head is looking directly forwards.
Imagine if you sewed the head on and it was just slightly to the side, so you've got the robin there and the head just looking
done
over into
that.
next door's neighbour's garden.
I've done that. I made a toy that was never really giving me its full attention.
Oh, really?
Just looking off one way.
Are they the ones with defects? Are they the ones your children get to keep?
Yes. Or things, I mean, if I bring a part make home, they're straight into the bag.
Oh,
can
really?
you finish this for me now? Well...
I bet, is that the last thing you want to do when you get home as well? It's like, I've just made 3 robins, I don't really want to finish another robin.
And as it is, it takes me ages to change their beds, to get all the bedding off, because there are just so many toys there anyway.
Or do they get the ones, you said you wanted them to look, what was the phrase you used? I said
jolly.
Jolly, I was going to say cheerful. And if there are any that don't look jolly enough, do they get all the miserable looking
They can have,
toys?
yes, they can have the grumpy ones. So I'll take that pin out and sew the other side. Just making sure that it all lines up by doing it this way.
So what do they think if they're straight in your bag and you've been making a quilt or something that day? Are they like, oh, is that not quite so exciting?
No, they're not as excited by quilts, really. But, yes, the little one loves the toys and anything like that.
Are you doing anything with them for Halloween? Do children just still go trick-or-treating now? Because there's debate about that, isn't there? Whether people should do it or not. I used to love going when I was a child.
We always have sweets in, just in case somebody... But my youngest, it gets really scared of anything like that, so no.
Too scary.
It is.
You can just stay in and eat your sweets yourself.
Well, that's what I hope, that no one
That no one knocks.
By about 9:30, if there are sweets left, then that's
But
fair.
you think, no, that's
we
it
can
now.
have
You've
them
lost
then.
your chance. It's an unreasonable time to knock now, so now I can eat all the sweets. I always think as well, do people actually have a trick? Because we used to always go trick-or-treating, but we didn't have a trick. We were only there for the sweets. I don't know what people do, but if it was a...
We once had an egg thrown at our window.
Did you?
We did, by some...
It's when you get teenagers knocking on the door, and I think this is actually quite intimidating. If you've got them all in like a big scream mask or something like that, or a big cloak, and I think it's actually quite scary.
Well, I might send the little one upstairs just in case, make sure he doesn't answer the door. So now we've got to that point, all the upper body's done, and it's just the base and the tail.
Okay.
So I'm going to base the tail.
He looks a little bit like the deflated version
yeah.
of the robin. There we go.
No feet at the minute, they're
Okay.
tucked in the other way.
This one is post-Christmas feed.
Yes.
We've got about 3 minutes or so.
Right, okay. I'll just base this on.
I'm distracting you talking about Halloween. Sorry.
Right, now, the base, there's 2 darts here either side, so I'll close these. And when you come to sew the base on, it joins across the bottom of the feet here. Now, to see whether you find it easier to have the feet, because you've got the seam allowance here, you might find it easier and prefer to tuck the feet through the other way. So I'll do one way and one the other.
You're just showing off now, Jo.
Yeah. So with them in that way.
Yeah, there is stuffing in the feet.
The stuffing in the feet, yeah. So I'll close these darts quickly and try and get the base on. Shall I show? I'll get the inner bag piece out as well.
So if you are making the bag and you want to put pellets in, Jo always says about rather than just sort of tipping the pellets into the toy and just having them in there roaming around, it is better to contain them in a little bag inside. So if it does, for any reason, if it broke or anything, you're not going to end up with pellets all over the floor. And I also think it just gives it that, rather than, I don't want to say stop it from rolling around, it's going to just sit more solidly on that bag of pellets.
Yeah.
Can you say that a bit more concisely than I just said it? I just said that in a really roundabout way.
I'd pressed that button. I'd almost got through a whole show without pressing the knob.
Jo always presses the button. Yeah, so why, you say it in your own words, why do you put a bag of pellets in?
The bag, why they're held in a bag?
Yes.
Just in case a seam comes open, you don't have...
So I tick that one off, so they're not going to go everywhere.
And also, they can migrate. Where you want them all together, so they're more effective if they're all held together. Whereas if they're loose inside, they can wander off and just spread out amongst the stuffing.
So you end up with a little
and so you lose the effect of them, really.
So you've got more than enough for more than this project. You get a whole kilogram of these. But rather than having stray pellets, maybe just migrating into the wings or the feet or the tail, if you pop them in one bag, then it just means it's going to sit nice and sturdy.
It does. It holds them all together. And
that was what I was trying to say, and it just came out in a big old warble.
Right, the base, start from the centre back of the base, at the back of the bird. I'm just going to sew it all the way around. I'll do this really quickly. I'll stop trying to perfectly match it up and just get on with it. But yes, have a look before you start and see whether you'd find it easier with the feet folded out, turned out the right way.
So out or in, you can see.
We'll just bring this all the way around. So this foot is still out, so I'm just going to fold it up, bring the base round, make sure that corner's the right way.
Yep. And
there are markers all the way along the base, just so you know it lines up and it's on track.
Okay. We've only got about a minute or so. That's the last. Do you know what? I cursed us because I was like, oh, we've still got 13 minutes. And then next thing.
And I'll bring this across. This is the foot that's turned out.
So leaving the hole in the back so you can stuff it from behind. And as always, when you do your faces, you stitch from the inside and you've got the knot inside underneath the head.
Yes, I always tend to do it that way. And I would go back, once I've stitched the base on, I would go back and just stitch a little bit further down from the back of the head, just to make that, so the turning gap isn't quite so large. But you still want quite a large one, especially if you're putting the bag of beans in.
Yes.
Because
squeeze that through the hole.
It is tough to fit it in if the gap's not quite big enough. Right, that's not perfect, but you get the idea. So I would go back and I would sew not quite as far as the seams here. So I'd sew to about there and leave that sort of size gap
at the back.
In the back.
Okay.
And then turn it the right way out.
There it is.
You sort of get an idea. It's not quite done, but there we go.
You just got to stuff it, do your eyes. That's pretty much it, isn't it?
It is, and
you've got the tail there.
This is the inner bag pattern piece, and it folds over. And so from the fold to there, from the fold to here, leaving this gap, and then use a funnel and pop your beans in, and then put them in so there's an inch or so you can get it under the machine and just machine stitch the end.
Across the top. Then pop that in the back. Happy days. There's your robin. Those pellets across the bottom of your screen. Thank you so much, Jo. And you're back doing our elephant again, aren't you? We've managed to get our elephant back in. Oh, and a new colour as well.
Yes.
Yeah, new colour in our elephant. So Jo will be back at 11. I'll just show you these different bundles that we've got for our Robin this morning. So the one that Robin's been making, what is wrong with me? I can't get my words out. The one that Jo's been making this morning is the one on your screens there. So this is this colourway with the brown and red. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these being sold this morning. You've got your red, your brown and your white, and then you've got the orange felt as well, plus your stuffing and the thread. This is for this colourway. So this is an exclusive sewing quarter design that Jo's done for us this morning. Now we have also got this kit in another colour option. So it's the same colours but different fabrics. So you've got a red spot on. You've not seen this one as much this morning, so I will just show you the fabrics. And then you've got a chocolate brown solid and your white as well for the tummy. So you can just see that there. That one also very popular, URGC 66. We didn't have as much stock of that one, so that one is really, really popular, and that one is limited now, so make sure you check out your basket. The pellets, you can get those on the online shop if you do want to add those to the bag. So you've got your stuffing. If you want to add a little bag of pellets in there so you can sit as a doorstop or a bookend, then you can. And these are our lovely LED elephants. We've got, people missed out last time, we had limited stock. We've got our elephants back. We had nowhere near enough, so we've managed to get them back in this morning at 11, and a new colourway of the elephants as well. So Jo will be back for more toy making fun at 11. Now, also in the next hour, I've got Tilda. So we've got the Tilda cottage collection, which I've never had on the show before, and I love Tilda. So excited to share that with you if you haven't seen it yet. We've got fat quarters and we've got pre-cuts and all sorts of different things, and stockings too. Well done if you've got a Robin. Don't forget to share pictures of those on social media. We'll see you in 3 minutes, ready for some Tilda, and then elephant at 11 with Jo. Toy making fun, Tilda delights. What's not to like? We'll see you in 3 minutes.
Follow us on Twitter for more inspiration, top tips, news, and share your own creations with us.
Tune in on Saturday the 28th of October as Lucy Brennan returns with some brand new Creative Grids rulers. If you liked her last selection, boy will you love the latest range, which will help you create awe-inspiring effects with ease. These time-saving tools are a must for any regular quilter, and coupled with Lucy's expertise, they'll help you take your skills to a whole new level. Join Lucy as she gets creative with the pineapple border, colour wheel and spider's web rulers, to name but a few. That's Saturday the 28th of October at 9 AM and 11 AM, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78.
Follow us on Instagram. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to get our latest posts.
Get cosy with a cuppa and an
Hi, I'm Lucy Brennan and these are my 3 top tips. My first top tip is to experiment. It's really about playing and using all the different features of your sewing machine. So, for example, when I was quilting this quilt, I used a wavy quilting stitch, which gives a really lovely texture to the quilt. So it's worth having a play about and using scraps or little quilt sandwiches to try different things. My second top tip is about combining fabric. A lot of people like getting the pre-cuts, which are fantastic. That gives you a whole range of a collection, but it doesn't mean that you just have to use those together. It can be nice to mix them in with other fabrics that you've got in your stash, or mix them in with solids and create something really unique. My third top tip is sometimes you just need to go for it. You can't always plan everything out. So you might combine fabrics, be making a block, and it not look exactly how you wanted it to. But until you sew it together, you don't always know how it looks, and there's always a way of combining things and making it look right in the end.
Good morning, welcome back to Sewing Quarter on this Friday morning. We've got a lovely Tilda hour coming up, and I've never had this collection on the show before. Well, not on one of my shows anyway, the cottage collection. And I was very envious when I saw the launch when I was off. So in the last couple of weeks, we've had this at Sewing Quarter. We've got this by the half metre today. So really lovely, gorgeous fabrics. If any of you have got some projects that you've made with this brand new Tilda collection, we'd like to show a few in this hour. So send them in, studio@sewingquarter.com, or any of your Tilda makes, because you know we love our Tilda here, studio@sewingquarter.com. Let's show some Tilda makes on Friday today. So I'm going to start, we're going to work our way through this collection in sort of colour families. So we'll start with the plums. As I said, these are by the half metre. So first up, we've got that lovely plum background, and then you've got your leaves there. Producer Hannah really likes this one. And then you've got a soft powdery blue in these leaves and a lilac-y tone too. There's also a really delicate little spot if you look really closely in the background. The Tilda berry leaf, this one's called. Now, what I am going to say about Tilda this morning is that what happens with Tilda is as soon as they've got one collection, so this lovely cottage collection, we order that, and then it's very, very difficult for us to get that again because we're now already ordering our summer Tilda collection. So what we've got of this is what we've got, and if you miss out, then you miss it because we only are able to get what we've got of it. So we just like to keep you in the loop with that. We're ordering our Tilda summer collection. There's our little berries, because believe me, we would really like to be getting more of this Tilda back in stock, and we won't. It's just not possible. And we know lots of you, you like to have different Tilda fabrics from the different collections. And also they are interchangeable if you do want to mix and match them maybe with something from the cottage collection or from any of those other ranges, the circus range or any of those, you can interchange them. Now another one on this theme. Oh, that's nice. This is quite a vintage floral. Keeping the colour palette a little bit more simple here with just a bold pink and the cream. A bolster cushion. That's a really lovely idea. Really nice. You can see that one. We'll look a little bit more closely. A nice big bolster cushion. I really like that. So these are all by the half metre from the cottage collection. I'm going to go through quickly and then we'll look at more detail, led by you, which one you like. This one, a lovely ditzy floral. Let me fold that one back over. Almost a Liberty influence on with this one, but these are 100% cotton, so a slightly different feel in terms of the texture of the fabric. You've got plums, you've got greens and blues in that. Mixing and matching, lovely for a binding or for the reverse side of a cushion or the lining of a bag. I'm going to flip through these fairly speedily so you can see exactly what we've got. Next up, we've got another floral. Flowers are the theme of the hour. Again, on a plum background. This one's got a lilac incorporated into it. You've got spots of teal in the centre of the flower here. And that soft pink too. And you really can interchange these. I will start to mix and match them as we go through the hour today. Mini plum. So that's our plums. Just those four there. If we can quickly look at those. All of these £7.95 per half metre. Cut off the bolt for you so you can have as much or as little as you like. And with those fabrics that we cut off the bolt, we send them to you in a Sewing Quarter. Lovely little box here, all wrapped up in tissue paper. So a little gift from us to you. So those are our plums. Moving now on to greens. So you might see replicas in terms of the design, but different colourways. So this one here, you've got a spearmint green and a slightly darker green, but again on a cream background. That's similar, we've got it in the pink, but just in a different colour combination here. What was this one called? The Botanical Sage. Let's turn that around. There we go. Really lovely soft cottons. We're more limited on the sage colourways. These are obviously much more popular. And we've also only got 3 different designs in the shade, so because of the popularity, we have only got the 3. Oh, producer Hannah said that reminds me of a William Morris print. You can just see here. We've had that in the pink as well. And again, you've got that berry detail in the background with those little spots. So the berry leaf sage. And one more in our green family. Nice to just group them together if you wanted to do something patchworky. And we haven't got that in the plum. This is a different design, so something a bit different. Fireworks. A Catherine wheel, or a nice little explosion of colour. So those are our sages. Let's move those ones there. Or should we see all 3? I'll put them there. No, don't move them. There we go. Our 3 different greens. Maybe if you had half a metre of each, they had 1.5 metres of fabric in total, and then you can mix and match those and interchange them. You'd have 6 fat quarters if you had a half a metre of each of those. But you can just see how in the collection from that designer that they do just, if you do want to interchange them, then you can. Now, this little range here we're moving into, we've got blues coming through here. So another ditzy floral. Again, you've got pinks and your greens, so you can interchange these with the sages or plums. This is the most limited of all of the fabrics you've seen so far, most limited on stock on this ditzy floral. So our Dove White Cottage from the Cottage collection. Only 15 metres of this one left in stock. CPGQ49. Any of these Tilda collections, we can't reorder them. So we're already moving on to ordering for next year, our summer collection. So once we've ordered this Cottage collection, this is all we've got. Tilda moves fast. They're always updating, always bringing in new designs. But you do always see those classic Tilda icons and the florals and the colours that you associate them with. Let's turn that the right way around. Oh, that's nice. That's really lovely. And these 2 together as well. 4 metres of this one left in stock. TFGQ87, so if you like this one, you'll have to move quick. The Minerva Dove White. Oh, producer Hannah's moaning. She wanted that one. She's not going to get any now, only 4 metres of that one left. The thing with these, if you do like them, and you're thinking, oh, I'll wait, this will be on for ages and ages, it won't. This is all we've got of this, and we won't be reordering. We can't reorder. I am going to keep, how many blues have we got? I'll have those 2 together, maybe just as a pair, and then I'll move on to the blues. So again, starting to see replicas of designs, but again, this now in a darker blue. And when I come back in a second, what I'll do is I'll start to put them together in design rather than in colour families, so you could see if you wanted to interchange those. That's the berry leaf in blue, again with that little spot detail in the background. Then we've got the floral that we've seen in the pink as well, or the plum, I should say. I'm not sure what that flower's called. I really need to improve my flower name knowledge. And I will. Someone is bound to message in and tell me what flower that is. Come on, let me know. My Nan would know. If you're watching, Nan, come on, send me a message. Then this one again that we've seen in green, well, we've seen in sage and we've seen it in the plum. This reminds me of a wallpaper, really lovely for soft furnishings if maybe you wanted to do a cushion and some curtains or blinds. And then you could also have a running theme coming through, cover a lampshade or a bin. But it's a really lovely, smart, almost quite an old-fashioned feminine bedroom. And 2 more blues. Got another one here. This is nice. This is unusual with the pink coming through in the petals. I'm trying to just assess which one my favourite is. I'm going to wait right till we get to the bottom before I make a call on that. I don't want to make a rash decision. This is the first time I've seen these. So this one here, your Minerva Blue, again from the Cottage collection. You've got a coral and peachy sort of colours there with the pink. One more blue to show you. A ditzy there in complete blue. This has definitely got that Liberty essence coming through as well. The Tilda is lovely quality fabric too. 100% cotton, lovely for quilting. That really lovely delicate print. Let's look at that family of 5 blues from the cottage collection. So you've got 3 that are only based just completely on a blue, and then you've got 2 bringing through some pink influence there as well. They do look really lovely together. So that's our blues. And then we've got some reds to show you. So we did plums. We had a couple of more pinky, and then we've got reds here. Oh, I really like this one. I'm just thinking, making a call on my favourite, and I do. I think it might be in this little pile here. So we've got a lovely poppy red background. I can't wait to start mixing and matching these, bringing in the different families. I'm going to do that in a second. Really unusual, the bold red with that delicate print of the flower. So that's botanical red, $7.95. Then we've got another floral, a nice delicate floral in your red. Producer Hannah went, oh no, I'm a fan of that one. She's loving that one. We're just making you sound like a diva, Hannah. IMGQ92. Then we're back to fireworks, but in red and pink. Coming up to firework night. I don't even think I can think of a firework-related project. What would you make? A firework cover? No, we can't do anything really. But you could certainly make a cool quilt with all of the different firework fabrics. And then, have we got any messages yet telling me which flower this is? Chrysanthemums. Thank you very much. Who is that from? Thanks, Jean. My teacher, Jean, this morning. Thank you, I appreciate that. I've got our chrysanthemums. So that's the mini red. And one more in that red family. Slightly softer red background in comparison to the first red we saw there. A little bit more muted, but with aqua coming through in the floral. And again, you've got that pink and coral petal that we saw on the blue. Do you know what I've realised? I am a sucker for a ditzy floral. I really, this one. They said I look really serious upstairs because I was just really carefully looking before I decided which my favourite was. And I do love ditzy floral fabrics. And this one here this is the plum. I think this one is my winner, although it's a very close call. ZMGQ17. I do like it's a nice girly fabric. I'd like a nice makeup or toiletry bag made out of that one. You could eau de coat that too, that would be really nice. Can I start mixing and matching these just with patterns? Let's have a look at that. So we've got 2, looking at these, we've done it by colourway. Let's just look at that other ditzy floral. So we've now shown you everything by the half metre that we've got. So, for example, those are the 2 different ditzy florals side by side. One more red, one more plummy. Here we go. This is more if you were you can just see that slight difference. This one is the plum, and this one here is your dove white. Very subtle difference, but if you're pairing those with other fabrics, for example, if you're pairing that with another plum, then you would definitely want to go for this plum version. If you're pairing this one with a red, you would want to go for that one. There is a difference there. Let's put those two in side by side. Don't want to get mixed and muddled. So this is the Dove White, and this one here from the red family. We'll pop those two in side by side. So this is the Minerva Red. And Dove White across the bottom of your screens there. Now, have we got the, let's just see this with, is it this one? Well, let's see the red and those two side by side. Same prints, different colours. Can we see those ones? In your red and blue. These are quite bold statement prints. You could maybe mix and match those for the backing of a quilt. But then also, let's keep these in their families. I really like, I'm going to move these ones. I feel like I should be going, roll up, roll up. We've got a whole store of fabrics. Let's mix and match these. And we've got these in the sage, the pink and the blue. Let's look at those three. The sage and pink are nice together. They work really nicely together. If you wanted to maybe have scatter cushions and to mix and match them. So botanical blue is this one here. That's across the bottom of your screens. The sage, this one. And in the middle, you've got the plum. We'll get that in a sec. Which one's most popular of the botanical? The sage is the most popular. So we also have one other one from that Dove White collection. Very limited stock on that one, so I'll show you that now. Is that this one? What are we down to on this, stock-wise then? Let's see, we're just going to work it out. 3 of you have got this in your baskets at the moment, and there's only, how many metres left? 3 metres left. So if it's a metre each, if you want to go even, you might all manage to get some, but check out your baskets if you do like that Minerva Dove. TFGQ 87, $7.95 per half metre. And just one more, if I was just going to look at the berry ones together, if we can. Here we go. And we had a blue one here too. The plum is my favourite in this this print. Oh, and this is the most popular print at the moment. It is. So this plum one here. It's a really lovely deep purpley pink. Plum is exactly the right colour. LAGQ34. This is the plum, but also available in sage. And your blue as well. Plum is definitely the most popular colour across. If you look at in terms of families, at the moment the plum, maybe because we showed it first, so you've had a bit more time to check out your baskets on it, but the plum colourways, I'll show you that plum family once more as a 4, if you want to mix and match those. Had that chrysanthemum, thanks Jean. We've got the chrysanthemum print underneath. Your dipsy floral, your berries, and your other botanical too. But all of these are the same price. just different prints. LAGQ34. Now, I will come back to these in a second. I'll be led by you, which are the most popular, and I'll have a look at those. But we have got 2 Tilda kits this morning, which I think were launched at the weekend. Did we find out which? We're just going to get the date so you can go back. So if you don't know, if you're not aware, all of our shows also go onto YouTube. So if there's a project that you buy or some fabric that you see or something you see a designer doing, and once you get your delivery, you think, oh, I can't remember how they did that, you can always go back on YouTube and watch those and fast forward and rewind to whichever one you want to. And Jo made these patchwork Tilda Santas and also the stocking at the weekend. So we've got these kits in, and they both include everything you need to make Santa or the patchwork stocking. It was on the 22nd of October, so last Sunday if you want to go back and watch. And actually just behind me there you can see the stocking. So let's start with that. If I grab the stocking, here it is. Really lovely. This is the sort of piece you would get out year in, year out at home if you wanted to pass it down through the family. A lovely way of displaying all those different Tilda fabrics. And this is from the most recent collection, so this is from the cottage collection. Those fabrics you've been seeing me lay out on the desk this morning, you can see them all showcased on the back of the stocking there. Should we just look at those different fabrics? So let's have a look what you get inside your stocking kit. Arrives to you like this, all boxed up, ready to go. This is the large patchwork stocking. Okay. Oh, open the other side. We're taped up. Okay. So all of your fabrics in here. Let's lay these out for you. So we've got the berries on plum. You've got the botanical blue. You've got some from the red collection as well. You've got your dove. You've got your cream for the lining of the stocking. Are we missing, I think we're missing one, the ditzy floral, unless it's folded up in here. Oh, it was attached. There it is. Did I show you that one? And the ditzy floral as well. Also, my favourite one made it into the stocking. QOGQ29, £27.95. And also in there, you get all of your instructions and a needle as well. I'll show you the instructions here so you can see exactly how to do it. There they are. All of your instructions. The really lovely stocking. This is definitely something that you're not just going to make once and then, you know, get rid of. This is one that you're going to keep and definitely get this out. All of your instructions there. Colour instructions as well. And talking you through, if we can just look at this on the figure diagrams, it shows you the exact layout so you can get the exact stocking that you can see here. So putting together those different blocks and the different sections, you can mirror image exactly what's here. Jo wants to keep this one. She said, this one took me ages. Can I take this one home? So that's the stocking, £27.95. And then we also had, you might have spotted, just if you've got a keen eye, you might have spotted our Santa just over here. So you've got your needle and thread in that one as well. Then we've also got the Patchwork Santa. I'm going to hang the stocking back on our robin. Okay, there's the Santa. Let's have a look at him. Here we go. This is a really unusual Santa. Different to all of those, that classic, you know, with your red and white. You're going patchwork. Oh, we've had a photo sent in from Rachel. Let's have a look what you sent in, Rachel. Oh, she's been making her Santa, so making her stocking. Making the Santa. She's putting it together, already got it. Oh, Rachel, I like you. You've got that magnetic pincushion, which is my favourite thing in the world. You can come and play at Sewing Quarters if you've got a magnetic pincushion. Send us a picture of your Santa when you've made it. So this is the one. Look at this lovely tall hat. He's cute. Really cute. But all of the Tildas have that whimsical feel to them. little characters. And if you know children, you're familiar with it, you'll instantly recognise those figures because they have those really similar features and faces and the character that they have. Let's have a look what comes in the box. Might have to sit you there. So again, this was on last Sunday with Jo. If you want to go back on YouTube and watch, follow the process and follow how she did it, how she found it. So, over half the quantity we have of all of this sold out on that Sunday. So if you do want to get it today, we've got Santas and stockings. Let's see everything you get in there. We've got a picture of that. Here we go, all of your fabrics. Your instructions again, your lining. And this one as well, you get the stick that you always get in those Tilda kits that you need to press right down into the legs and feet, the smaller sections. And your needle and thread. But let's just look at the fabrics. So you've got the berry leaf, the chrysanthemums. I'm going to remember that. You've got your berries in the red. You've got your pink botanical. This is for the main body of the Santa, so for the face and things. And then you've got loads and loads of this ditzy floral in the plum. And let's just look once more at how our Santa actually looks so you can really see. It really does showcase the fabric. Let's look on the back. And on the front there with that star. We lost his eyes. There he is. Can we see his head? We've only got his beard. NYGQ92, and that's for the large Patchwork Santa. So if you're loving this Tilda collection, the cottage collection, and you want to have something a bit Christmassy but that showcases those fabrics, then a really nice project to do that. Everything you need in there to make the Santa, including your lining, including your little stick so you can get right down to do these arms and legs if you want to. All you need to add is your stuffing. So let's pop our Santa back there. Now let's have a look. We're going to have a look once more at the still of everything that comes in that Santa kit. NYGQ92, $27.95. Which is more popular at the moment, the stocking or the Santa? Santa. Santa is a bit more popular than the stocking. We'll see who's going to win the race. Now we've also got some Tilda pre-cut. So if you don't want it by the half metre, or maybe you want some smaller pieces to patchwork with, we've got fat quarters, fat eighths, and charm packs this morning. So let's start with the little charm pack. So this is all from the cottage collection. Tiny little squares. We've got single figures of this. So this is 5-inch squares, 12.5 centimetres by 12.5 centimetres. And let's look at some of those fabrics you've got in here. So all of these prints that you've seen me looking at this morning, doubles of some of them. But the pre-cut, they're taking the work out of it if you are wanting to use all little pieces of fabric. And a really nice way to have something in your stash where you've got a taster of the collection. You've got prints from all of those different families I was showing you, the plums, the reds, the sages, the blues. Great little snippets. Single figures for that, YBGQ49, so you will need to check out your baskets if you like that. And it's the only charm pack that we've got with that cottage collection. $17.95. Let's just pop that on there. Let's have a look at the fat eighths. So let me just check which one that is. I don't want to mix up fat eighths and fat quarters. Is it this big one? Let's just check. Do we know which one it is? This one. It's this one. So let's open this one up. So fat eighths, half of a fat quarter. There's our little collection. Let's have a look at it as a bundle first of all. So these are 50 centimetres by 27 centimetres, and you will get every colour that we've been showing you this morning. So maybe you can't decide. Maybe you're just very, very indecisive, a bit like me, and you don't know which one it is which, if you only want to order a couple, you're not sure which one. This is a lovely way to get a taster of it. I'll show you the size of the fat eighth, just so you know. Half of a fat quarter, so like this. And let me show you some of these different prints. So we've got the berry there. Going through the reds, we've got the floral. The botanical. You've got ditsies. I like that one. Really nice to mix and match. The chrysanthemums. Back to our berries in the plum. Again, that really lovely feminine floral. Lovely for home furnishings. Then you've got the fireworks. My favourite, the ditzy floral in plum. You really are getting a bit of everything from that whole collection. So we have seen these designs, but just showing you that you do get everything in here. Everything you've seen this morning in the sages, the blues, the plums, the reds. 20 pieces from the cottage collection. And those are fat 8, so once more, just to show you the size there. There we go. Now, we've also got another fat 8 bundle. And this one is not from this collection. This is from the Harvest collection. So everything we're showing you this morning is from the cottage collection. But we just thought we'd throw this one in case you want something slightly different colourways. This one's from the Harvest collection. And it also does just show, it really emphasises how interchangeable those Tilda collections are. If you do have some Tilda at home and you're looking to combine it with something else, I'm going to do this one, slide this one off. Then you can mix and match with the Harvest collection. These ones, again, are your fat 8s. So more oranges and olive greens in this. But still, you can see that same influence coming through. For example, if you wanted to mix and match from the cottage with the Harvest, you really can do that quite easily. Just bringing in the cottage ones here to change with the Harvest. We have very little stock of this Harvest collection now by the half metre. So if you do like the Harvest collection, fat 8s might be the way to go. And that was only the collection that we had before the cottage. So it went Harvest, cottage. Now we're looking at summer already. So you can see how quickly these change and how new things come through. And also how we quite quickly don't have anything left. That really did fly out. I really like that print. I love that in the plum as well. So again, 20 pieces. That's my favourite. I love that one from the Harvest collection. I really, really like that. I think I've learnt this morning that my favourites all seem to be plums. $20 pieces from the Harvest collection. I'll just show you a few there together so you can see. Just a sneaky peek of how you can interchange those if you want to. And how if you want to introduce some different Tilda in your stash, you can. But just looking at how these all work together. UHGQ89, that's the Harvest fat 8s. Then we move on to fat quarters. So, let's pop that one there. So we've done the 5-inch squares, the little charm pack. We've done the fat 8s in the cottage collection. We've done the fat 8s in the Harvest collection. Now we've got fat quarters in the new cottage collection, and these are arranged in colour families. So I'll start first of all with the cottage plums, my favourite. Here we go, let's look at these. Great price, $19.95. I'll show you the size of the fat quarter. There we go. These really are lovely quality fabrics as well. So let's look at these different patterns. You will start to become familiar with these patterns. You recognise a lot of these from those by the half metre ones I've shown you this morning. But this is a fat quarter bundle in plum. Five fat quarters, $19.95, YSGQ73. Then we've also got the fat quarters in sage. I'll show you that first of all as a bundle. Again, $19.95, just a different colourway. Let's flick through those. Fireworks. You've got these creamy ones in this collection too. Your Dove. This is the one that was very limited on stock. Your Sage, Botanical. Your Ditzy. And your Berries on green. PCGQ09. That's it in Sage and pink. And then we had one more, which is in, oh no, we've got two more. We've got the reds and blues. Let's go to reds next. So again, this is what this one looks like. All of these fat quarter bundles have got 5 pieces in, so 5 fat quarters. Let's look at these. The plum is definitely my favourite. I just think it's got a really lovely, rich quality. I love that rich colour. Chrysanthemums. Ditzy. Can you tell that I learnt that this morning? I feel like now I just keep saying chrysanthemum. Thanks to Jean. Your berries. All of your reds there. So if you are going for a bit of a twist on Christmas, you want to use those for a Christmas project and you do want your reds, then that's the Tilda-inspired red version of the fat quarters from the Cottage collection, LEGQ17. And then the blues, we're in single figures on the blue. Oh, well, we've only got 7 of this fat quarter bundle from the Cottage collection in blue. So let's show you these. So if you do want this one, you will need to be quick to check out your baskets on that. So if you do like the blue, if there is a particular colour that you like, this is the easiest way to get a little taster of all of the different colourways, whether that's the blue, the plum, the sage, the red. You can choose which one you like, and because the prints overlap, you might think, oh, I really love the berries, and you really love the plums, so you're going to go for all of those different plum ones. So you've got the fat quarters. Let's just show you that blue one once more. 3 people have already put that in their basket, so now there was only 7. So if you do like that one, you will need to check it out. 1995. TWGQ02. Those 5 different blues. Then we had the 5 different reds. Let's look at that one. There they come for the red. We had the 5 different greens or sages. This is producer Hannah's favourite. It's quite a cool, nice cool green colour. You can just see that berry one peeping through underneath here. And finally, my favourite, the plum. Let's have a look. You've got one little one peeking out underneath. Which colour's the most popular? At the moment, it is the blue. Possibly because of the limited nature of that one. If you do want that, you do need to check out your baskets or give the call centre a ring, 0800 112 4433. That lovely plum one there, I really like that. YSGQ73 for the plum. And one more look at the charm pack that we did to start with, because this, we're down to 2 of this. So if you like the blue, you like the red, the green and the plum, and you want a bit of all of it, then this is the way to get a taster of all of those different fabrics from the Tilda collection. The Cottage collection, I should say. Just flicking through here. Sold out. Gone. That one's gone. Take that one off. Okay. We did have the fat 8s as well, but let's have a look at those cut off by the ½ metre off the bolt one. So we've got the Tilda and the Cottage. Oh, we've got the buttons as well. Shall we do those quickly now? Let's look at those. Oh, I hadn't seen these till this morning. That's why I'm excited about the buttons. We've got Tilda buttons. I just think these are so lovely to incorporate if you're making little cushions or as a little stocking filler even. But you could just pop these as detail on bags or anything you like. So first of all, you've got the sage and red. And look at that with this, for example. Or with this is the actual fabric here, just peeping underneath. So these are covered in the Cottage collection fabric, 4 buttons in there, and those are 2.8 centimetre wide. Then we've also got another one here. Let's start with our little mini ones. Plums, that makes me happy. Limited on this one, so if you do like these, please check out your baskets. RZGQ27, $3.95. You get 9 little buttons in this, and these are 1.5 centimetres. So if you're doing bag making or dress making, nice to add to maybe a cardigan or a bag. Or if you do want to add a little 3D element to a quilt, perhaps like the Mandy Shaw ones, then you could do that with buttons. Finally, we've got this little collection of 6 using the ditzy florals, so the 2 different colours that I showed you right at the beginning of this hour, in the plum and in the red. This was the print that I really liked, so less than 10 of that one, and I'm just going to show you it with the fabric. Just the way it's packaged and everything, it all just is, it fits in with that lovely Tilda theme, and these would make nice little gifts or stocking fillers for someone if you know they're into sewing. Something to add to your stash. $3.45, 6 buttons, and those ones are 2 centimetres. I've never seen those before. I think they're very nice. Now we've also got a quilt pattern using the Tilda Cottage collection. So Tilda always brings out a pattern to go with the collection. So if you're liking the fabric and you want a pattern to incorporate those, it comes out with an idea to match the fabrics. So let's just open that up. Show you what we mean. So if you love this collection, you're loving those fabrics, and you do want to go for the quilt, here we go. So it's got a key on how to use the collection, so using all of these fabrics that we've got on the desk this morning to create a quilt. There we go. Just using those little pictures on the side and then incorporating those into the quilt pattern. There we go. And then that's what the quilt looks like when it's made up. Actually, that almost looks a bit Christmassy with how they've used the flying geese there. Have we got a picture of it on here? Let's see. There we go. Just so you can see as a whole how that's going to look. $6.95. Your instructions in here as well for your quilt pattern. Everything you need. Just need to add your fabric. And it tells you on the back as well the names of the different fabrics and how much you need of each one. So if you do need to order those, you can go use that as a guide, and then from there, make sure you've got the right fabrics to get the exact replica of the quilt on the front. So the finished size of this quilt, 25 inches by 77 inches. That does look nice and cosy, doesn't it? ABGQ 93. Okay. So in your fabrics by the half metres, the plum, let's look at the plums. The berry leaf seems to be the most popular pattern in terms of the design. So the plum, is this the winner at the moment? Of all of them? Go on, the plum. Go on, plum. Here we go. So we've got the plum berry. $7.95. LAGQ 34, which is the next most popular fabric. A couple level pegging, so let's have a look at them. Chrysanthemum in plum. We're liking our plums. Well done. I'm glad that you're liking your plums because it means I get to keep getting them out. They want me to say it again. Go on, the plum. Is that we're at some sort of race? WHGQ02, the mini plum. Do you ever get that when you say a word so many times you lose the meaning? I think I've just said plum 20 times in the last 3 minutes. Plum. I don't know if I can lose the meaning for the word plum, but I do feel like I've said it a lot. And which is the next most popular? Sage. The sage leaf and the botanical. So both of those. We'll start with the berry leaf to start with. So this berry leaf design, really popular. This actually could definitely be made to look quite Christmassy, depending on what project you use it for. The Tilda berry leaves in sage. And then also the other floral in sage. Producer Hannah really likes this one. This is a really lovely, soft, spearminty colour. Botanical sage. LYGQ10. £7.95 per half metre. What's up next? What's the next most popular? Let's see. Is it another plum, which is our next most popular fabric? It's not a plum. There are three. All the blues. Let's go to blues. Apparently the blues all seem to be competing with each other, so they're all just going for it. We had that blue fat quarter bundle as well, so I know that one was the most popular too. So let's first of all look at those as a family of 5. So you've got your botanical, you've got your chrysanthemum, you've got your berry leaf, you've got your ditzy floral, and your slightly larger floral there as well. There we go. And then I'm going to open one of these up so you get to see, in terms of size, what you're really getting. Let's pick out this one. Okay. So this is a metre. I think for soft furnishing, this particular, the botanical print, have I got that upside down? I did that. Let's see. Yeah, I think I did. There you go. That's better. SQGQ24. I think I would do mix and match scatter cushions, but you could do a couple in the pink, a couple in the blue, and even a couple in the sage if you wanted to. And in fact, we have got a Tilda book if you want some Tilda ideas. Lots of their fabrics obviously lending themselves to different projects. This is a beautiful book, The Homemade and Happy So. Loads of lovely different... There are some Christmas projects in here, but also some general Tilda-inspired projects. This is Tone Finnegar, who's the founder of Tilda. Got that really lovely Scandinavian influence. Classic Tilda angels. Little decorations that you could use around the house at Christmas. That's a nice Christmassy one. They do have that really whimsical feel to them. Let's just move through a little bit further to some of the other projects. Oh, I like that. A little sewn sewing machine. All of your instructions in there as well. So talking you through the process step by step. Little pin cushions, teacup pin cushions. Little purses. If you've got some of our purse clasps, maybe from a previous show, and you want to incorporate some of the new Tilda fabric. But lots of really nice photography in this book as well. They've not skimped on the pictures. It's not just text. You've got, oh, quilts as well. Oh, that's a strip throw. So if you want to really maximise different prints and use different designs, that's a nice one for that. And then at the back, you've got all of your templates for cutting all of those out. And look at that. How beautiful is that? It's like a log cabin. Can we just quickly look at that just because it's cute? You can't buy the log cabin, but I'd quite like to go there. That looks beautiful. Tilda Homemade and Happy. ROSP20 13.95. Just some Tilda ideas and inspiration for the Tilda fabrics that we've got this morning from the cottage collection. And as I was saying earlier on, with the Tilda collections, they move really quickly. So we had the harvest collection at the beginning of the autumn. Now we've got the cottage collection, and we're already ordering the summer, so we don't get this back in stock. If this is a fabric that you like and you want to work with, you do need to order them now while we've got them, because we won't get them back. Now also we had the two projects, the kitted projects this morning. We've got the Santa and the stocking. So you get a kit. That's everything you get in your Santa kit. All of the fabric you need, all of your instructions. Loads of you checked this out this morning, NYGQ92. Lots of people checking out on Santa. You're checking out Santa. That sounds a bit funny, doesn't it? There we go. So this was on the 22nd of October. If you want to go back on YouTube, let's just tilt that so you can see his eyes. If you want to go back on YouTube and see Joe Carter making this, so you know you can know and understand the process. But everything you need in this kit, so you can see there all of your fabrics. And a lovely way to display the and showcase the fabrics in that patchwork Santa outfit. That one's really popular. And then we also had the stocking. Where's our stocking? If I was going to choose one, the stocking or the Santa, I'd go for the stocking. I just think this is something you can get this out year in, year out. Really lovely piece. And it's got obviously the Christmas feel because it's a stocking, but without being in your face cartoony. It's not got Santas all over it or reindeers and elves. You know, it's a really nice grown-up stocking. And the patchwork on the back as well there, again showcasing all those different fabrics. QOGQ29, the patchwork stocking. Let me spin it round as well. And again, you can go back for the quilted stocking and watch on the 22nd of October. So that's what you get in your kit, all of your fabric, your instructions, your thread. And it's quilted as well. You get your lining fabric as well, the cream. I'll just show you that here. It is lovely to have a nice quilted. That block in the middle with the star is pretty. And then you've got your lining fabric as well that's all included in that. Lovely. Okay, so some of the pre-cuts that we've had this morning, the charm packs and fat quarters, some of those are sold out. So I'm just going to quickly recap the ones we've got left in case you're not sure which ones. So let's see. So the charm pack sold out. The blue one has sold out. So let's go to, the plum. 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 Are we going to plum? We're going to plum. Okay. We're plummeting quite quickly. Okay, here we go. The plum fat quarters, 5-piece fat quarter kit. So you've got your berries first of all. 10 of you have got this in your basket at the moment. So just be aware, you will need to check it out. YSGQ73. A little bit of all of these lovely plum ones. Your ditzy floral. If I say plum, one more time, plum. Then you've got your chrysanthemums, your fireworks, and your botanical. I might eat a plum after this show. 19.95. I'll open one of those up, that ditzy floral that I really liked right at the beginning, just to show you the size. So you get 5 pieces like this. So you're ending up with 1.25 meters of fabric. And the little buttons, the ditzy floral buttons would go really well with that plum fat quarter kit if you wanted to mix and match them. Also, these are nice stocking fillers as well. Just because of how fat quarter bundles and fat eighth bundles are all packaged up, I do think they make nice gifts if you wanted to put them in as a stocking filler. So then we also had, which is the next most popular actually, in case you run out of time, is it sage or, it is sage. So you've got your fireworks in sage. This one is mixed and matched with the dove and the creams. Ditzy floral and your berry leaf. Let's just look at the buttons as well with that. What a a lovely present just to mix and match those two in if you wanted to. PCGQ09, 1995. Look what's happened while that's happened. I've just had a few little elephants and Santas popped in. So we also had the red fat quarter bundle. Let's grab out. We've got our Santa as well here. Let's keep him here. There's our red fat quarter bundle. You're probably quite familiar now with these different designs, but just the different colourways. I like that one. I really like that. And let's look at some buttons with that. The little mini buttons. You can just see how they perfectly designed to go with these fabrics, all from the cottage collection. RZGQ27 for only $3.95 for those 9 little buttons. I think that's a really nice, or a Secret Santa present. That's a nice one. Then we also had the, well, should we go back to the Santa? Just quickly show Santa once more because he's been very popular. Of course he has, our good old friend Santa. This is the Patchwork Santa from Tilda. So everything you need in this kit to make it, all of your fabrics, everything you need for the main body of the Santa as well. So whether you give him as a gift pre-made or whether you're going to give it to someone for them to make themselves, NYGQ92. And all of those different fabrics showcased on the back as well. Really gorgeous. And this is from the cottage collection as well. So in this hour, we've looked at all of those different Tilda fabrics. The first time I've had these on the show, so really nice for me to see them in sage, plum, red, blues, and the Santa and stocking as well. And which one was my favourite? Was it the plum? Plum. I think it was plum. And now we've also got, oh, I love these buttons too. They're really cute. And in the next hour, we've managed to get the elephant back in. So Joe Carter's elephant, we've got 3 different colourways in this morning. So we've got a brand new one and the 2 that you might have seen once before. Look at him. What's not to like? So we had our robins this morning. If you did manage to get a robin, well done you. We love our Christmas robins. But the elephant coming up next, Jo is going to talk you through the whole process for that. And following that, we'll see if she's going to follow her normal routine for toy making. Some of you very familiar with that now. This hour, lovely, lots of Tilda. We've had stockings and Santas, all of the different cottage fabrics. And if you like that blue or the plum, maybe you like the plum, don't forget you can check out your baskets for that on the website. So we'll see you in 3 minutes, me and Ellie the elephant. Don't go anywhere.
Follow us on Pinterest. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to discover sewing work we create and love.
Tune in on Tuesday the 31st of October for an hour of fabric and fashion with John Scott and guest Jennifer Mills. John will unveil the Plaid range, a brand new collection of soft flannel fabrics available in multiple colour options. This cosy cotton is ideal for creating stylish additions to your winter wardrobe. And it just so happens that Jennifer has the perfect project for us. She'll be making a classic plaid dress, as seen in the popular Great British Sewing Bee book. We'll showcase a range of useful tools and plenty of dressmaking tips along the way. So, join us for this jam-packed hour of dressmaking fun, Tuesday the 31st of October at 9 AM, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78.
Follow us on Instagram. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to get our latest posts.
Get cosy with a cuppa and an early mince pie this Saturday as we celebrate Christmas with Mandy Shaw. Mandy has the perfect collection of Christmas ideas that'll charm the whole family this festive season. From stockings and advent calendars to wreaths and decorations, Mandy has everything you could possibly need for a traditional celebration. So, join John Scott and Mandy Shaw for a fabulously festive morning, Saturday the 28th of October at 8 AM and 10 AM, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78.
Join us on Facebook. Simply search for the Sewing Quarter and like our page for the latest news and more.
Tune in on Saturday the 28th of October as Lucy Brennan returns with some brand new Creative Grids rulers. If you liked her last selection, boy will you love the latest range, which will help you create awe-inspiring effects with ease. These time-saving tools are a must for any regular quilter, and coupled with Lucy's expertise, they'll help you take your skills to a whole new level. Join Lucy as she gets creative with the pineapple border, colour wheel and spider's web rulers, to name but a few. That's Saturday the 28th of October at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78.
Follow us on Twitter for more inspiration, top tips, news, and share your own creations with us.
Well, they say they never forget. The good old elephants are back. Have you forgotten them? You hope you haven't, because we've only had them in once before, and they flew out. They sold out last time. We've managed to get our elephants back in this morning. Look at these. How lovely are they? Let's have a little look at those a bit more closely. Oh, they look so happy. Joe said the animals they've got to be cheerful, and there they are, cheerful. So lots of you missed out last time, and we had lots of requests for have our elephant back in stock. So by popular demand, we've got the bundles back in this morning for these two lovely elephants, but also for a new one, a new colourway that Joe's going to work through in this hour. So we'll start first of all, let's pop the elephants where they belong. We'll start with our classic grey, which is this one on the end here. So to make the exact elephant you can see on the desk. You've got enough to make one elephant in this kit. You've got the linear look fabric on grey and the solid grey as well. Now, if you were watching earlier and you saw the robin, as with the robin, you also get your instructions for the elephant, all of your stuffing, your felt and your thread. And I'm going to show you these instructions so you can see. So the grey was the one that sold out first last time. So if that is the one you want, you will need to check out your baskets, but I'll show you the cream and the pink as well. But you get all of your step-by-step instructions from Jo. Jo takes all these photographs as she goes, so she makes sure that every little step where it's a slight change or something that you really need to see, that's all been photographed and documented for you to follow. Your template's there as well. So that's the grey elephant kit. Already people checking out their baskets on our grey elephant. Nelly, I think that one's Nelly. Then we've also got the cream elephant as well. So this is a little bit more of a natural colour. We sold this colourway last time too. Again, this one also sold out. With this one, you're getting your linear look fabric on cream and your solid cream fabric as well there. I've run out of hands. Let me lift it up. We could have a plum elephant. Then you've also got all of your stuffing again and your instructions. And now, the brand new colourway, here it is. We've got that lovely mottled grey fabric here. So again, like we had with the robin this morning, introducing that fabric that almost looks like it's got a bit of a sponge effect to it. So giving you a bit more texture and depth. And we're combining that with a pink. So we'll see how Jo's put that together. I imagine we're going to use that for ears and things. We didn't offer this last time, so it's a brand new colourway. Again, with your felt, your thread, your little eyes, they come in all of the packs too. And your instructions. OV GC 55 19.99. So 3 different colour options. As I said, this one did sell out last time, so if you do like it, and maybe you like that new colourway, it's time. Come on, I'm going to take the whole gang. I can't leave one here. Can't do that. I'll take the instructions as well. Jo, I'm hands small. So we're going for, we can never have too many elephants, can we?
You can't.
And we're going for a different colourway this morning.
We're going for the herd.
It's the herd of elephants. We're going to add a few. We could end up with all different colour elephants, couldn't we?
We could.
As well, once you've got these instructions, you could always do these in completely different colours, because we go quite realistic, don't we, with the kits that we put together?
Yes.
But if you wanted to go for a purple elephant,
a pink elephant, look, an all pink. Well, with this kit, you could switch them round maybe. And
if you wanted to go for the main body.
Yeah.
So with this kit, you can make one elephant, can't you? You've got enough fabric there to do that. But once you've got the instructions, as I said, you can always interchange them. Someone's just messaged in to ask what size the finished elephant is. Have we got that in here? Or should
it should be in the pattern.
Finished size, 26 centimetres tall, so 10¼ inches. So it's a nice good size, and he sits just comfortably on his little tail there as well. That's sweet, isn't it?
Knot in it,
so you don't forget.
Yeah.
So I wonder what the story is behind that. But it is, isn't it? It's the same with hankies. You tie a knot in it so you never forget. keep it lodged in there. So I've not seen this one before. I can't have it lodged in my memory how we do it. You'll have to show me where we go. Third of the stock of the grey one already checked out. Please do, if you want it, you do have to ring or check out now. It won't necessarily be there by the end of the hour. Okay.
Okay, shall I make a start?
Yes.
Start with the ears.
That's just me. Keep giving stock updates, so Joe can't start.
So I've made one ear. Again, it's similar to the robin. We're going to stitch a channel once the ear's together and pop stuffing in it, but not stuff the main part of the ear. And that helps it to stand, to hold its shape, actually. It acts as a sort of a frame for the rest of the ear to hang.
There you go. So you can see like Dumbo.
Yes.
You want the ears to stick out, don't you? So just stuffing that top channel. And this bit here, if I turn it to the side, you can just see hasn't got any stuffing in it.
So we take the ear pieces, put them right sides together. So I've got a main body fabric and then the sort of highlight fabric for the feet and the ears. And I'm going to stitch all the way around and leave this side open.
Okay.
I'll do that.
It's going to look cute with pink ears, actually.
Yeah,
just imagining
really like
now.
this set.
Look. Imagining. This is the new one, this pink and grey colourway. So it'll be a grey elephant, so I'll put it on there. It will be slightly different. But I'm going to like that. I can tell already. Have you made it up in this colour yet, or have you not seen it?
I've not. This is the first time.
So again, the channel, as we did with the wings on the robin.
Yes. So trying to speed around the ear.
And again, as with all of your patterns, the seam allowance is built in.
Yes, 1/4 inch, 6mm. Yes, it's included where necessary on all the templates. The only place the toes don't have a seam allowance at the top. They do at the bottom, but not at the top. So,
do you want to see the detail on these little toes as well? Look. But you can start to see a crossover, even if someone this morning has only you've never seen any of Joe's toys before until you saw the robin. You do start to see that there are techniques that overlap.
There are. Sort of my favourite, yeah, I will have my favourite ways of doing things. So I like to put, some toys call for toes.
Yeah.
So, yes. Elephants, you've got to have that sort of different toe patch.
I think it's nice as well from a sensory point of view. You just get that different texture with the felt on the toes, so it just gives you something else to stroke.
It is. It's nice to have a combination of fabrics just to add a bit of extra interest, really.
Oh, we've had a photo sent in. Who was this one from? From Barbara. Morning, Barbara. And she made the elephant last time. Let's have a look, Barbara. Oh, he's coming.
That's fab.
That's
lovely.
Ears. Look at the ears. I wonder what Barbara's used there.
That's so
Barbara
good.
said the instructions were really easy to follow. And she's finished it ready to give to her baby grandson, who's due in 6 weeks. What books have you got there, Barbara, as well? Let's be nosy. What have we sat the elephant on? Can't quite see. I hope it's a sewing guide of some sort. Step by step, I think I can read there. Lovely. Really nice. Thank you for sending that in.
So I've put notches in the seam allowance around the curves, just with where it's an internal curve there. I've just done a couple of little clips. And then I'll turn the ear the right way out. I'll pop the iron on because I'll give it a press.
Okay.
I have got, it's creased here and there, and we don't want creased ears.
Maybe the iron will warm it up in here. I'm really cold.
It is quite cold.
It's quite cold, isn't it?
I don't know whether is it cold out?
Maybe, because I've
today?
been cold since I arrived this morning, so maybe that is what it is. Oh, I hate this time of year, I always say I feel like I walk around with my shoulders around my ears, because you know when you're like that, aren't you? Just naturally everything comes up a bit.
So I'll just push the seams out and I'll give these a press.
Okay.
I'll take care of the stuffing on this one, but I'll just get rid of the crease out of the bottom of the ear. I should have done that really before I came on.
No, it's all good. Good for us to see.
Okay,
So the most popular elephant at the moment is which one? The grey, the classic grey that we had last time. So closely followed by the new colourway with pink, which I think as we start to see that put together, that one might overtake. But the grey bundle there, everything you need to make the completely grey elephant. Nelly. Your stuffing, your threads, your instructions. That's the one that sold out first last time as well. EKGC66.
There we go.
And then the new bundle, that's the one with the pink and the mottled grey, which is what Joe's working with at the moment.
Okay, so for the channel, I'm going to draw the line on to follow when I sew. I'll try and make it. Now this is on the template, so you can transfer it from the template. I've just done it freehand there. I'm just trying to mirror that one so that they match. But there you can transfer the actual line from the template.
So again, creating a channel, and then we're going to stuff that.
Yes.
Okay.
So reverse back over the first couple and last couple of stitches just to secure, make sure this stitch line stays in place. And then bring my trolley back, the stuffing. I'll try and stuff this.
So this is the new bundle with the pink. That's the one here just coming up on your screens. OVGC 55, 19.99. Little pink ears. I think I'm going to like that one. I reckon that one might be my favourite.
Yeah, I think this one will look cute. Push this to the end of the ear.
Just helping them to stand right out.
And it provides a bit of a frame for the top of the ear. Push that to the end.
I just remembered when I was little going on the, it was one of the first rides I went on, the Dumbo ride at Disney. Yeah. And I used to think, because you can move your carriage up and down, you press a button and it goes up and down, and I used to think, I don't think the child is actually controlling it. I think the ride person is, but I fully believe that I was the person. Yeah, I was in control of the Dumbo carriage that I was going up and down in.
There we go. Just put a little bit more in. It doesn't need an awful lot. And don't stuff right the way to the end, because then it makes it a bit tricky to fit it into the seam.
Okay.
So I tend to leave about a finger's width free at the end, by the open end, just to
so
minimise the bulk, really. And if you've had one of the Tilda kits, these sticks that you get in most Tilda toy, they are really handy. There we go.
That stick is in the Santa that we were selling in the previous show, but they do come in all those Tilda kits, like you say, the monkeys and the
and the
what's it on the fox?
The fox as well. Yes, I think this one might have been out of my Santa kit. There we go. So the ears are done. I'm just going to baste along these edges now, just to seal the stuffing in place.
Okay.
And then I'll make the face.
It's quite nice to do 2 toys in one day, just to see how you really can get your head around that process, because already this is starting to mirror what we've done with the robin this morning.
They're very different toys, but there are some similar techniques in there.
Different shapes, obviously, and different elements, but
I often tackle a toy in the same way as well. So I'll make the head first, and then go onto the body, and then join them up at the end. Get rid of that thread.
I like these toys that sit like this, because you could do the elephant, couldn't you, that stood on all 4?
Yes.
But it's quite nice that it sits back. It's a bit more,
with its feet out front. Right. So now for the face. These are the face pieces.
Okay.
And there's a face and a chin. Sort of, yes, a chin.
The chin. And the trunk, obviously, as well.
And so I'll do one at a time, clear some space. There we go. So this is the chin piece. I'm going to stitch it around here, pause at this point, this corner with the needle down, lift the foot up and reposition, sew along that bit. Actually, with this piece, I like the chin on top, so I'll do it in the opposite direction.
So down and then, down and across.
Start at the front and work this way.
Okay. We had a message from Sandra in Leicestershire. Morning, ladies. Love Joe's elephant, and I have bought it. Love watching the shows from Sandra. Thank you, Sandra. I'm glad you're loving the elephant as much as we do.
Yep. Right.
Grey elephant. Over a third of the stock of the grey elephant has been checked out, so make sure you do check out your baskets if you like that one. We're nearing half the stock of that one nearly gone. So OVGC 55 is for the pink and grey, and the one on the bottom of your screens, EKGC 66, is for the grey Joe Carter elephant kit.
Now at this point, I've paused with my needle down, and I can make a tiny clip, not as deep as the seam allowance. I don't want it to interfere with the stitching at all, but just in the face piece underneath. Just made a little clip, just so as I turn now, and I'll just use my scissors to, my foot's well away from the pedal, just to flick the fabric round here.
Okay.
And then just to sew down this second section of the chin. Just give that a little just to make sure there's no fabric going to get caught, and sew down this bit now.
We've had a message in from Barbara to ask about the ears. What was that then? Oh, she's already made the elephant. Yes. Oh, was that the one that we had the picture that was sat on a sewing book? Yes. I've got Barbara in my head now. Do you stuff the whole ear or just the top channel? It's just that top bit, isn't it?
I just stuffed the top bit, but you could add a little bit of stuffing in the bottom if you wanted. If you wanted to give the whole thing a bit more depth and make it, yes, a bit softer maybe.
They sort of I think they stand out really well. I don't know if that's because of the channel. It sort of helps to keep it.
But it's personal preference, really. It's whatever.
Either way, whatever you want to do.
Yep. So you can see here, that's the clip I made in the top face when I got to that corner, just in that piece, just to make it bend for this turn that little bit easier. So there's one done.
Okay.
Do the other one. And this, I'm keeping the chin on top this time as well. So I'm going in the opposite direction. So I'll start on the shorter end. So you like to have that smaller
piece of fabric on top so you can see as you go round.
And it looks like this corner doesn't line up. It comes well past this corner, but that's so that the seam allowance sections meet. Again, you could draw it on if you wanted a line to follow. Draw it on in water erasable pen. There we go. I've gone a bit far. I might go back one. Cheat a little bit. There we go. I wanted that stitch. So I'll lift it up, and again, just make a tiny clip on the face piece only. And then twist this round. Move the fabric round. And then sew along. And this seam here with the chin, it also provides this. You stitch the mouth along this seam, so you've got that seam to follow when adding the mouth on later.
Okay.
Lift that up.
Is the trunk built into this this section, or is it separate?
This is the trunk here.
This is the trunk, yeah.
It doesn't look very big actually on the pattern piece.
No, it doesn't. That's why I wasn't sure if it was just part of the head.
So there we go. We've got both sides of the face, and I'm just going to close this dart here now in either cheek, and it just gives it a little bit more of a cheek shape.
You could put the you could do rosy cheeks, couldn't you, on there if you wanted to?
You could
blusher.
A little bit of blusher. In fact, I think I put maybe on the one that's on the photograph on the pattern. I think I did pop a little bit of blusher on.
Oh yes, look, you can see rosy cheeks.
Only a tiny bit.
Particularly as well with the one with the pink. With the pink ears, the little bit of blusher might look cute. Don't know if you can see that there, but whoa, Nelly.
So I'll just close this dart.
So they're just creating some shape. You can just see here. You've sewn that up. Can we see that?
So you can sort of see the smile there.
Just creeping in.
And now both face pieces are done, so I'm just going to sew them together from the top, all the way round the trunk, and then down, finishing at this point, the bottom of the chin. And then that's the face.
This is a new fabric from Macabre this morning, this mottled, or as Joe was saying, almost looks like it's been sponged, this fabric. And it's what we used for the robin that we had on today too. And it just does give it that 3D, sort of, rather than it being one colour all the way across, you do just get the sense that it's a bit, and it's perfect for animals and for toys because it just looks a little bit more like fur, or you can see on the tummy there as well. But any of these toys that we saw earlier on, so the robins, or I know I just referenced the Santa and the stocking, all of those are on the website. If you go to the watch page, underneath the live feed of today's show, there are all of the products that we've had. So the grey elephant, the cream elephant, all of them. And also the grey elephant, that one there, EKGC66, you can get that on the website just underneath. That's the most popular one at the moment too.
Okay, I'm just going to open up, ready for when I get to this seam. I'm just going to open these seams up and line them up. And you could pin this before you start. I'm a bit fly-by-night. I just go over it as I'm going.
And also always a bit of reluctance to use pins on with children's toys as well.
Yes, I'm not a big pin user. I think they line up.
So we've done the ears, we're doing the face, and then is it going to be arms and legs?
I'll baste It will be. That will be the next bit. I'll just baste the ears so I don't lose track of them into position. With the face, you need to clip the seam allowance at the internal corner here. So I'm just clipping in, taking care, again, to avoid the stitching. And I'm just going to make notches around the trunk.
Half the stock of that new pink and grey colourway has now gone, so if you do like that one, OVGC55. Not to apply any pressure, but just so you know, just keep you updated and in the loop, you know which ones, where we are with the stock situation.
So, and there's a photograph, I think, of all the clipping. So if you're unsure where to clip, I think the pattern, you can see it on the pattern.
Let's go through. Where are we?
So it's a previous
The one
page.
before.
Yeah, just here, you can see this is the bit I've done.
Oh, yeah.
Step 3, I've joined the face pieces together. And then I'm going to baste the ears in position. And they're marked on the template as well. So
you do those right sides together?
the front of the ear against the right side of the face.
So you want the pink facing forward, don't you? Because whereas with the other ones where you've got the same colour, with this one we want the pink forward.
It keeps it nice and simple, having the pink.
This fabric, aside from being great for elephants, is quite like a marbly effect. You know, it's quite on trend, isn't it, at the moment?
It is.
Whites and greys and things like that.
So I've got one ear in place and I'll pop the other one on.
I'm going to like this colourway, I can tell.
But I do these colours, I think they work really nicely together.
That's the grey and pink one. Have you pressed the button yet?
I've not yet. I'm going to try and get through the whole
Jo was in
show.
yesterday, she said every show there's a button on this machine. And what do you think it's for, reversing?
It ties the knot. It sort of
ties the
secures
knot.
the thread in. So it's perfect for making buttons and things like that.
It's a button-making button, but Jo always presses it by mistake. So far, so good today.
So there we go. I've not turned the trunk out, but there's the face.
Okay. Can I turn it out while you're doing the next
give
bit?
it. So it's obvious which bit's
what
which.
animal it is. So next up.
Next up, the way I always tackle the back of the head, I'm just going to sew them together from the top down along the back for about 2 inches, 4 or 5 centimetres, that sort of distance. And it's just to join them so I can attach the back head to the front head.
So you tackle the people from the back of the head. We don't want to play with you in rugby, Jo.
There we go. So it just joins them together, and I will continue this seam later on and close this up. But open it out, finger press the seam, and line up this seam with the centre of the face. And then I'm going to sew it together.
And you normally go centre out and centre out.
Yeah, do a side at a time. It just makes life easier. So I've lined those up.
We're getting to the point where we're going to have a whole little face of Nellie or Norman.
Nellie or Norman. Aren't they what John's cats are called?
Are they? Are they called Nellie and Norman? Oh, I didn't know that.
I think so. Oh, no, maybe I've got that wrong. No, I think they...
No, I think they produce hands and she thinks you're right, Nellie
Yeah.
and Norman. Oh, I didn't realise that. Trying to think of another suitable elephant name. We're going to need a third one.
Could do with it another Nellie, Ellie, but there is. I don't think there's another name. That
Smelly.
Nobody wants to be that elephant.
No. Belly. Smelly. No, I'm not trying to think. Telly. None of these are really suitable elephant names.
Just a little bit.
With this one as well, as with the robin, if you wanted to, could you use pellets in this one as well?
You could. I mean, you could put pellets in any toy you wanted, really.
Because I think this one would make a nice doorstop just because of how it's quite wide, the base of the toy.
It is.
It's quite sort of a wide bottom, the elephant's got.
It has got a good bottom.
It's got a good bottom for a doorstop. If you look at the back here, where it's quite sort of a large, flatter shape there. So if you wanted to use pellets, as we did with the robins, when we've got, you can get a whole kilogram of these pellets. You don't get the bars, but you do get all of these pellets inside, a whole big bag of them, kilogram. And you can pop those in a bag and then put it inside your toy, and you can just then use it as a doorstop or as a bookend, just to give it a bit of weight. And it does just help to steady them a bit as well. A lot of people do multi-buy these because the postage and packaging is only £2.95, and with the weight, there's no extra cost of that. So if you do want a couple of bags for your stash, it's probably one of those things, if you've got it, then you start to add them to...
You put them in everything,
like,
yeah.
Just put some pellets in my new quilt, in my bag, or in my... whatever you're making. Oh, I've got pellets there and there now.
It does, yes, you definitely need a funnel when you're adding them, otherwise...
I saw you earlier. Did you do it with parchment or something?
I just made a paper funnel.
Just made a paper funnel.
I didn't make a very good paper funnel because I did get them everywhere.
It's like rice, isn't it? It somehow just ends up... Do you know, I'm really rubbish, I've realised, at knowing how much rice to cook. It's quite a hard one to gauge. Someone said to me it's half a cup. That's meant to be...
So, see, I have different size cups. That's not precise enough for me.
Do you like to go for it? You would weigh out?
I measure it out in a measuring jug, actually.
Do you?
Yeah.
Get it spot on. Pasta and rice, you just always seem to go for too much.
No, I measure rice out, but I just throw pasta in until I think it looks enough.
And there's always enough for a plate.
So there we go. That's the head done. And so the back,
I like it with the pink. Look at that.
The back's still open. Get an idea
of what it's going to look like. And just add a little trunk there.
So I can put the head to one side, and now I'm going to start on the stomach and joining these inner leg pieces to the stomach.
Just before you do that, I'm just going to recap the bundles and then we'll carry on with the body. So I'll take these with us. Okay. So we'll start with the, let's just look at the pink and grey that we've just had with Jo. So this is the one that Jo's making this morning. You've got the pink that we've used for the ears and that lovely new fabric from Makawa, that marbly effect almost. Brand new. Comes with your felt and with your little eyes and your instructions. Loads and loads in this colourway have already been checked out. OVGC 55, 19.99 for the brand new elephant. So do remember, if it's in your basket, that doesn't guarantee the order until you've checked it out on the website. So just make sure you do go all the way through to the end if you want to make sure that Smelly the elephant is your one in the pink and grey. Then we've also got Nelly the elephant in our grey. So this one is was from the original launch that we did of the elephant. Comes with the linear look fabric in grey and the solid grey fabric as well. And again, everything in your kit. Instructions, stuffing, felt, thread. EKGC 66. And then we've got Norman the elephant here in our cream. This is lovely. I think this is a really nice, maybe to give us a little baby toy. Sitting up in the nursery, just on the bookshelf. Do remember with the eyes, this isn't maybe one to give to a really young child. On the eyes, it does advise for under 3s to be wary with that. But if not, you have got the embroidery scheme in there, so you could stitch the eyes instead rather than using the plastic. RZGC 88 for Norman, the cream elephant. Let's take these over. That was quick, so we can carry on. Did we have a message as well on the iPad, or has that disappeared? We'll just get that on for us. I'm going to pop those there. Let's see. It's disappeared. It's from Karen. Where is it? What's happened? Oh, Karen from Essex. Morning, Karen. Hello, Sewing Quarter. What does it say? Sewing Quarter is taking all my money. Laugh out loud, that's what she's put. I bought the robin for me to make as a gift and the elephant kit to give as a prezi. Love this channel. Sorry we're taking all your money, Karen, but hopefully they're things that you do want to buy. We're not twisting any arms with robins and elephants. So, yes, lovely. I'm glad that you're enjoying our lovely toys this morning. Whereabouts in Essex are you from? I'm from, well, near Southend. Are you that way? Are you near the seaside? Essex is a big old place. OK, let's have a look where we're carrying on.
OK. Next job is to join the inner legs to the stomach piece. So I'll do the top ones first and then the lower ones.
Okay.
And the top ones fit around this angle. That's not too tricky. Before I start, I will say the long side of the lower leg is to the bottom, and it's very easy to attach them the wrong way up, because I did that recently.
I was just about to say, the way you were looking at me and saying that, then I thought, this looks like a confession. This sounds like something that that's gone a bit awry.
So lay them out first on your table before you start, so you can see which way up everything should be. So yes. I got to a point, thought, nothing seems to fit now. Why would that be? Because it was in upside down.
But they just twisted all in.
Yeah.
Did he not quite sit up when they're that way?
I couldn't even get that far because just nothing fitted, and then I realised. And then the corner, pause with the needle down to sew along the second bit. That's that one done. And there's a marker to show where this top bit of the leg finishes. It doesn't go all the way to the top of the piece.
I know this is rewinding right back to the beginning, but when you get your instructions like that, do you photocopy your template and then cut around the templates, then cut around the fabric? Is that the order that you do that in?
Yes, I'll copy the templates, cut them out, and then to be most economical with the fabric, I lay the fabric out and I position the templates on, and I will draw them out and get them as close as possible so that I'm saving as much fabric. And so I can get something else out of the fabric if possible.
You've got a little bit left over for another project.
Yep.
And then from there, you would also mark on at that point if there are any notches or if there's something directional, so the channels we had on the robin wings, you would mark all of those on at that point.
Yes.
And then you cut them out.
Yes, and in fact, the notches, they go the opposite way. I cut them into it the opposite way, but I will also write on the pattern piece so I know to leave a mark in the right place and that it's not a dart or anything.
Because I just realised as you were doing that then, you were like, oh, and there's a little mark on there. Those marks don't just appear, like they do have to be put on, don't they? And
I do.
you don't just suddenly get the guide with the fabric. You do have to make sure you transferred those on.
Yes.
And if you do all your marking thoroughly at the beginning, then the actual process of assembling and putting it together, you've already done the graft, haven't you?
You have. They're all there and you can just get going with it. So now I'm going to finger press these seams open. And this one, yes, it's this one. So the long side to the bottom, I'm going to sew this around this curve, finishing here. That's the end of the seam. So
Should we just see that once more? Because this was the bit that Jo did wrong before. So we just do, not on air, but just where it went.
At home. So this longer side is towards the bottom of the elephant. And I'm going to sew it from here all the way round and finishing here at the bottom of the leg above it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I'm with you.
Upper, inner, lower leg, it all gets quite
upside
confusing.
Down
It can be quite difficult to explain. Okay.
So where else will the pink feature on this colourway, other than the ears?
It's on the feet as well.
On the feet? Oh, here. So it's going to be where you can see in the cream bundle where it's just the solid cream. That's going to be in pink, so it'll be like this. That's going to be cute.
So we've got one side joined on. Go to those threads. And then I'll do the same. And then that's the stomach. Threads everywhere, sorry. And that's the stomach section then joined together. And these corners here, just so the legs face forward instead of straight out.
So they're all heading in that direction, so it sits?
Yes. So I'll open that seam up again, just to keep it, just so there's not a chunky section in it really, because quite a few seams join at this point.
Why is it when something's cute, it makes you grit your teeth? Because you just, I naturally go like, ooh, just makes you make that. It's like with babies as well. Yeah. I don't know why we're conditioned to make us grit our teeth. Not in a bad way, you know, like, oh, that's really scrunchy and lovely, I love it.
There we go.
So now we're getting to the point where most of the grey main body fabric is attached.
It is. And there's a dart at the top. I'll close that now so that it's done. But that just brings the tummy, rounds it in at the top, just so to give it a bit of definition around the neck.
Just in here. Oh.
There's no need particularly to taper the end of that one too much because it's quite a long dart anyway, and it does. But there we go. That will just add a little bit of shape into the neck. So that's the stomach. I'll turn it that way. It's quite difficult to tell which bit's which when it's like that.
If I just hold it while you do that, you can start to see. It would be going in like this. I don't know if you can see that. See it? The clothes.
Yes.
Well, that's where this part's going. Okay.
Now this is normally if you're making a toy, this would be all one piece, but because it overlaps too much, there's a separate outer upper leg. See, outer upper leg, it all gets confusing. And this joins from here all the way down to this corner here. So this is the point I want to finish the seam. And if it helps to mark it on, so you've got a guide to follow, then mark it on. I often do if I'm a bit unsure.
Do you know what
it does? It sponges away.
It's not going to cause any long-term damage to the fabric, or if it just makes your life a bit simpler.
I mean, often I'll just get the iron and just give it a spritz with the water spray on the iron.
And you can just sponge it away.
And it'll just disappear.
I'm looking forward to seeing these little pink feet.
So there we go. Join that one.
Which elephant's most popular at the moment, Producer Hannah? The grey, the classic grey. So this one here, but very closely followed by the grey and pink. Very closely follows.
So now I'm going to join along this seam, the inner and outer top leg, this front leg here.
Have we got this 2 times over, or is this only once? I'm trying to...
Yes, I need to do this for the other side. There would be an opposite side. I'm just going to do one side here and sew 1 foot on and toe piece and go down and do the bottom. Instead of doing all 4 for the sake of time,
yeah, of course.
I have a body.
I just started to wonder if there was meant to be 2 out of that, but it's just the one.
Yes, but there should be 2 of these. Just the one of this stomach section, but 2 of these side body pieces. So I'll open the seam up.
We've got another message from Jean from Essex. I'm loving the Essex support this morning. To make a cheap and easy funnel, cut the top off a plastic bottle. It works every time. Essex born and bred, Jean. Did you do that, Jen?
No, that's a good idea.
Did you do that when you had them all over the workshop?
No.
Outside in our office as well. So just cut the top of a plastic bottle. That is a really good idea.
That's a really good idea.
You just cut the top off, turn it over, and then you've naturally got a funnel. Great idea. Thanks, Jean.
I've picked up loads of tips.
Yeah, you do.
From viewers here.
It's two-way street. So the pink bundle, we're just going to show you that one there, just so you know the difference between the pink and the grey. You've got the mottled grey fabric, the pink for the toes and the ears, instruction stuffing, everything you need. That is now the most popular, OVGC 55. That's the brand new colourway this morning.
So this here, I'll show the side body. This is the front leg, and it's stitched together along the front. And now before I attach the foot, I'm going to, well, applique essentially, the toe piece on top.
So the felt?
Yes. So I'm going to open this seam up, give it a press if you want. Just give it a finger press. And then with a piece of felt, just position it, centre it over the top. Now, if you wanted to use some, I mean, the glue pen would be good actually for holding this in place, or you can pop a pin in it to hold it in place. We're just going to sew along the top edge here, just to fix it to the fabric. I'll just go for it because felt doesn't really slip. So once you hold it on, it tends to stay where you put it.
Do what you're told.
Yes, it's quite good like that. Not much listens to me, but felt.
But felt will. I wonder what other colours this marbly fabric comes in, because this is brand new from Macau, this sort of spongy effect. I think they're going to... I wonder if we'll start to see some... lots of different colours coming through in this. I like it.
Now, I can baste along this edge and then trim away the excess felt, just so it mirrors the grey fabric. So I've basted along there. So that's secured in place. We won't see... Take the scissors down for a wound myself. We won't see this stitching at the bottom here because the foot will join there, but we will see this. So if that can be as neat as possible, we'll see that bit over the top.
But the straight edge one where you faced it in is not so...
That's not so
important.
So I'll trim away the excess felt there, just so I've got a proper edge to attach the foot to. And then from the back of the foot...
I spy a circle.
So this is... And some people like to sew with the circle underneath. I like to add feet like this. with it on top, and I'll use the needle down function and sew a couple of stitches, and I watch the edge of the fabric underneath. So I'm bringing the circular piece to the edge and just doing a few stitches at a time and repositioning, just so.
So you just keep teasing that circle round onto the grey?
Yes, just so it stays on track. And because the white's a little bit chunkier, I'll just see almost a millimetre's thickness of white to the edge. I don't go quite to the edge.
Is there a right side and wrong side with that pink, or is that as with most of the solids?
There's a right side and a wrong side to all fabric, but I don't think anyone would notice if you didn't. I open it out so that it's often folded so that the wrong sides are together. So I'll open it out and draw them out onto the wrong side. And then, because my markings are on the wrong side and that's where I need them to be, that's what helps me to always have the right side out, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. Because sometimes I think you could look at it and you wouldn't, say this little pink piece here, you wouldn't know, but as you've just said, you've got your markings on the back of this piece that you've prepared, so then you would know that that's going.
So yes, often it's the traced lines from where you've cut them out that lets you know as you're making which is the right and wrong side. So there's the foot.
I like this colourway.
Attached, and we've got the toes inside then.
Let's just show that quickly. That's it. Okay.
And then I'm going to join, let's get rid of these threads, the back of this leg. I'm going to stitch it together only to the top of the leg. So I'm going to finish it here.
Just this bit?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I'll turn it round and sew the top of the leg underneath. But doing it in two parts is easier, and it helps to get the corner, because the corner between the two is quite tight, and it just helps it all to lay a bit.
Is that here, you mean?
Yes, that join there. It helps it to all fit and lie in the right way. You won't get...
Because it's quite tight.
And sewing it this way, in this direction, I get a good view of where I want to end this seam. So I want to end it right there at the top of the leg. Is that visible? And then I'm going to turn it this way. And first of all, on the side body piece, I can see the corner there, and I just want to clip only into this piece. Don't catch any underneath. I'm just going to clip there just so there's a bit of flexibility and turn in this corner.
You can just see that there. Yeah.
Okay, and then I'm going to rearrange and bring the top of the leg underneath it together. And I'm going to sew that and finish again at that top bit, at that corner. So I'll just bring this round.
So would you do 1 foot at a time, as we've just done in this order, with the felt and the pink toe, and then you would do the bottom feet, or would you do both top and then both bottom?
I do a side at a time, so I'll sew this now, the top leg, and finish where I've clipped into that corner there, and then I'd sew this foot on, and so I'd do one side fully, and then I'd join.
So all of this side, and then all of that side?
But, I mean, you could do the top first and then the bottom.
Have we got any more elephant pictures? Who else? We must have had loads of you have made elephants, so send in some pictures, studio@sewingquarter.com. We can maybe show 1 or 2 more in the next 15 minutes or so if you've got a picture.
But I'm sewing now. There's the clip. I'm sewing towards that corner, and I want to finish the seam right where the other one finished, because any overlap will cause a little bit of a pucker and a gather at that corner.
And it's already quite tight, isn't it?
It is quite a tight finish. So they both finish at that corner. You can see a bit of the pen from where I marked it on before. And then when this is turned out the right way, you have that join there. See, some of the pen, I didn't sponge it away. But this would be the top leg. Turn it out so you can see what's going on. That's the top leg, and then this here is the bottom leg.
Hold it up, we can maybe see more like...
There we go. So this is the corner where they both meet, and it can be a bit tight and awkward, so it's worth spending a bit of time and really taking that slowly.
And then this is going to be the bottom leg underneath there.
So we'd open this out at this point and do this foot in exactly the same way.
I was just going to say, same process. So you go for the felt.
Felt on, stitch it around there, baste it along the bottom, trim to make sure it fits, and then add this foot piece. So it's done in exactly the same way as the one below it. No, above it.
Above it. Okay. Oh, we had another picture been sent in. Who's this one from? From Claire. Oh, Claire made the elephant for one of her grandsons as well. Wow, is that? I'm just nosy. Is that Is that a barbecue? And is that a sofa outside?
Those cushions look amazing as well.
Yeah, look at the cushions as well. We are nosy. Thanks, Claire. We want to come to yours for a party. Look at that. Oh, and another one.
Oh, with the pink.
This is Deborah. That's with the bright pink. Loving the toys.
I love
Very
that pink
tempted to buy them all, she said. Yeah, I like the bright pink. That's nice, isn't it?
Oh, it looks fab.
I really like it in that bright pink. We can start to get a see. You can sort of imagine how that's going to look with this pink one that we're doing today. Thanks for showing those to us, ladies. Okay.
Right, so we do this, the other half of the body in the same way. So I've already done, to save me doing all 4 feet now in the same way as that one, which will take a bit of time, I have got a ready-made body here.
Repeated style.
So I've got to that point, I've stitched these feet in. I really should have trimmed all my threads so it was less messy. So those feet are done and the ones below as well. And I've finished at that point where both these feet are attached.
Yep.
So I'll make the tail now. So the tail's done. And the tail
I love the tail. So simple, but it's got a little knot in his tail so he never forgets.
It just seems appropriate for an elephant.
Yeah, of course.
And this is the tail piece. We just fold it over lengthways and sew from this top edge down to the bottom and leave this end open. So
We've got about 8 or so minutes left, so...
We're not doing too bad.
No. I want to peek at those little pink toes. I'm going to like that.
Hopefully I'll get it finished and turned out by the end.
Lovely. You could tie a couple of knots, couldn't you?
You could.
You do a longer tail than one that's got lots of things to remember.
So I'll just clip away the tip there. I'll take a little bit of bulk out here. And then turn this the right way out. Let's see if I can do this on...
Have you seen the prim turning tool yet? Have you had that on?
I have. I don't know why. I forgot the tail was... That's brilliant.
You just drop a tube in and you push the stick through and it turns out things exactly like this, arms and legs and tubing for bags.
The thin
and
one
things.
would have been perfect. I don't know why I didn't think of that. But no, it's such a clever gadget.
Little gadget.
See, I'm all fingers and thumbs now. Let's see, I'll go from...
Quite small, isn't it?
It is. I'll go from this end. But you can wait, and once the tail's in place, you could stitch the knot, tie the knot in it once it's done, the very last thing, or you can tie the knot in before it's added at this point.
Yeah, you could definitely do a couple of little knots in there, couldn't you, on a longer tail?
It's not that this is impossible, it's just fiddly and I'm not...
Fiddle factor, Jo.
I know, I should have thought about this, really.
There's the finished little tail here. This is what we're doing.
There we go, it's nearly done.
That attention to detail is really nice. I can finish doing that.
I'll just give it a little bit of a roll. It should be quite free to just get the end out now. Right, and now it could be easier at this point before all the bottom's sealed up. So you've got, it opens out quite nicely to attach the head.
See, Jo, I say I was going to do this, but it's actually more fiddly than it looks.
It is quite fiddly, sorry.
I'm just keep rolling it and hoping that it comes out.
Sometimes what works is you can just pop a pin in and sort of lift it out, lever it out with a pin as well.
See, I really wanted to be helpful, but clearly not my skill set.
It's not the speediest thing to do, see, I'm just levering it out with a pin.
Gripping telly this morning, so we've got lovely little elephants.
I feel the need to maybe tell a joke, or I don't have any.
Yeah, I'm not really one for stand-up jokes. So we've got the elephant in pink and grey. Let me tell you about that instead. And this is the brand new one this morning that's on your screens, $19.99. We've also got it in the cream and the classic grey as well there. So 3 different options. And which one's most popular? Is it still pink and grey? Pink and grey.
There we go. Right, I'll open this out.
Well done. Better than me.
I mean, I've had practice. I should have been a bit better at that. And now, sew the head right the way across. If you want, you can line up the centre and sew it out from the centre out each time, so you know it's definitely looking the right way.
Yeah.
But I'll go for it and sew
All the way around.
all the way around now for time. Although, are we doing okay?
We've got 5 minutes.
Oh.
4.5.
Oh.
It counts down really quickly. Also, just once more, because lots of people are adding these to their orders this morning, if you do want those pellets, so just to make it into something a little bit heavier, a doorstop or a bookend, or just to give it a little bit of weight, you can add those pellets in a little bag inside. You get a kilogram bag, so not the vase, but they do arrive in a bag. Quite therapeutic, actually, having your hand in there. People use these sometimes, don't they, in vases, if you've got fake flowers or things in there.
Yes, it's to sort of hold them in position.
In colours, different colours. WSPI 57 for the kilogram of pellets, and no extra cost for sending that heavy bag of pellets. So stitching all the way around, attaching the head to the body now. Our completed tail there, ready to go.
There we go, so we've got the head on, and then I'll go to the back of the body, and this, the bottom of the leg, so the underneath bit, I'm going to sew along the leg and then carry on round, and there'll be a marker in the centre, and that's where this seam finishes, and that joins, then seals one side of the body. So I'll do this.
So we're approaching the point where there's just going to be one gap left
There
in the back for stuffing.
I'll do this and then pop the tail in. Do you want to tie a knot in the tail?
Yeah.
Should we go for it now?
Okay. I've got to prove myself now, having failed to turn the can I tie a knot.
If you made a girl one, maybe a little bow on the tail would look cute.
Yeah, you could do a little, like you say, a bow with a ribbon. Or you could even put a ribbon like round its neck, couldn't you? Have a little bow.
It'd look nice, I think, with a little bow.
Or a little elasticated hat.
So it's a little bit more complicated. But
Yeah. Joe was just going for a ribbon in the a bow in the
Something you could
tail.
tie
I'm going to go for a sequined waistcoat. Why not?
fully beaded. And
Yeah.
Swarovski crystals all over.
Like a Strictly Come Dancing outfit for the elephant.
I was watching...
Do you watch Strictly?
Oh, the costume department are amazing, I think.
Because some of them are amazing.
Because the speed in which they must have to whip up a costume.
I wonder how far in advance they have to concept the themes of the dances. If it's only a week to week, because you don't know which celebrities are going to go through, in which case they've got to turn around, like you say, all the costumes, the set, because they sometimes have special set design and light and...
Surely they can have the rest of the year off if they work that intensely.
For that 10 or 15 weeks, whatever it is. I think Alexandra Burke is great.
Oh, I think Susan and Alexandra are my favourites.
And I like, who else is it? I've forgotten his name. The Paralympic guy is amazing.
He is. I like it because I know how rubbish I'd be.
Do you know what? I was watching this. It's Simon Rimmer, isn't it? And every time I watch him, I think that is what my dad would be like if he was on Strictly. It's when he has to do anything with his hips or like shimmy, and I think my dad would be just like. I can't imagine watching your mum or dad on Strictly. I just think it would be. Oh, well, it's funny, is it? Like you saw Brian Connolly's daughter sat there, and what's going through her head? Okay, we're nearly there.
Stitched.
I've only got 1 minute.
These together. I'll baste the tail in quickly. In fact, I might. No, I'll baste it in. I'll do it properly.
I've only got 1 minute, so we would just turn that back through. The toe technique that's the same as what you've shown before on other animals, isn't it? Where you're and it is all in your instructions anyway. So you've not we're not just leaving you without the end of the story.
So I'm going to leave an opening in the back of the elephant, but I'm going to make sure that the tail is machined in place, so it's really securely.
Because that might be pulled on, actually, if you give it to a child. It's
it
sort
would.
Of thing. It might even be carried by the tail. You can just see. I wouldn't imagine a child doing that, couldn't you?
Yes, I wouldn't want a hand close around the tail, just because it would be easier to pull it out, I think.
Yeah.
And then I'm just returning to that seam in the top of the head, just to close the head fully. And I'll go a little bit down the back of the body, but I want to leave a good opening to turn. So I'll go to...
We're out of time, Jo. It's gone so quick, that last bit.
It has. I thought we would do it.
I know.
But that's it. That's all the machine
Look, you can see the shape. I mean, that is it, but inside out, if we were turning it out. Maybe you can quickly pass it to me in 2 minutes while I do these round-up of the bundles.
So turn the right way.
I'll leave this with you really quickly. Thank you so much,
thank you.
I will see you in a second anyway. So these kits this morning, I'll take an elephant with me. We had the 3 different kits. So the one that Jo might quickly get turned out now is in our grey and pink. So this was the premiere bundle this morning for the elephants. This has been the most popular as well in this hour, so maybe if you've already had an elephant, you wanted to do a different version. You've got your stuffing there, your eyes, your thread, your felt for the toes, OV, GC, 55, the grey and pink elephant, if you're adding to your herd. Then we also had the plain grey, which is this one, so using that cross-hatch linear look fabric, and also the solid grey that you can see here on the ears and on the toe pads as well. All of your instructions, step-by-step photography, everything you need there to make the grey elephant. And we've also got it in the neutral colour. So this is in that sandy colourway, again with that linear look fabric and the OT colour toes. I think that would be nice sat in a children's nursery. RZGC88, 19.99. Now, we've had those 3 different elephants this morning, and we also premiered, we had a brand new toy from Jo today as well, the Robin. So if you missed it, you can go back and look at 9 o'clock. This colourway, hundreds and hundreds of these have gone this morning, hundreds of robins flown the nest and gone to new homes. But this is the most popular colourway. Again, it's in that brand new marble look fabric from Makawa, teamed with a red. You've got white there for the little tummy and the orange felt too. So especially for Christmas, whether you want to use that as a Christmas doorstop or sit it on the mantelpiece or somewhere in the house, or to give it as a toy, as a gift as well, maybe to give to a child in the family. And really lovely. And that's a Sewing Quarter exclusive this morning from Jo. So we've got another colourway in the red spot-on fabric and the dark brown solid as well. But as I was saying, that wasn't from a magazine or anything. Jo designed that exclusively for us for Christmas because loads of you requested a robin. So there it is, URGC66 for the robin in the other colourway. So robins and elephants, those are our 2 that we've had this morning. And also we've got the menu of what's coming up on tomorrow's show. So creature comforts, let's see. John's back tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. And who's he joined by tomorrow? I think it's Mandy Shaw. Mandy Shaw is in at 8 in the morning, Make with Mandy. Then at 9 o'clock, is it Lucy Brennan? Creative Grids with Lucy at 9. Oh, wow, you've got a lovely show tomorrow for Saturday Sewing School. 10 o'clock, Make with Mandy Part 2. And then 11 o'clock, Lucy is back again doing some more Creative Grids work. So John's back in the morning. He'll be looking after you all weekend. Let's just see if how's Jo doing? Have we got a thumbs up to kind of see where we are? Come on, Jo, show me where we got to.
It's got
yes,
stuffed heads.
Very. I love it in the pink. That's my favourite colourway.
I really like these flashes of pink.
Look at this with our little pink. And on the toes as well. That is really lovely. So this is the brand new elephant colourway this morning. Please do check out your baskets on that. It's been the most popular. And I love that new fabric. It almost looks velvety.
It does. It's really lovely. I've missed the eyes out, but... Yeah, I'll go back and pop those in.
Go like that. You just pop those little plastic eyes in. But there we go. Our 3 little elephants there from Jo. And the lovely robin as well that you brought in this morning for us, our brand new toy. So we've got really nice ones. And then tomorrow you've got Lucy Brennan and Mandy both in with John. And, everyone's excited for Mandy and excited for Strictly.
Yes.
For Strictly in the morning. So there's lots of lovely Mandy Shaw things in our office, so they're all ready to go for tomorrow morning. You're not going to want to miss those. Thank you very much for your company today. I'm off back to Essex for a few days, so I'll see you soon, very, very soon. And John is in the morning, and he'll be looking after you, so have a great afternoon. Right. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow.
Get cosy with a cuppa and an early mince pie this Saturday as we celebrate Christmas with Mandy Shaw. Mandy has the perfect collection of Christmas ideas that'll charm the whole family this festive season. From stockings and advent calendars to wreaths and decorations, Mandy has everything you could possibly need for a traditional celebration. So join John Scott and Mandy Shaw for a fabulously festive morning, Saturday the 28th of October at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78.